Right, hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the Crystal Gateway, our Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 edition game that's been run by Mr. Rooster Castile. I'm James Corp. I'm the host with the mostess. Only English people will get that. So, should we go around the table, get people to introduce themselves and the characters this time, Rooster, rather than do it one at a time? Just get people to introduce.
Sure, we'll do it your way. Fine.
All right. So we'll start with Rooster. If you'd like to introduce, or do you want to go last? We'll go Rooster last.
It's too late. I'm already going. I'm Rooster
okay.
Castile. I'm Rooster Castile on Twitter. I'm the Dungeon Master. The end.
You play everybody that's not a character.
Kitty.
Hi, I'm Crimson Kitty. I stream here under CDN Crimson Kitty, and I am playing Tally, the Pyromaniac Druid.
J-Walls.
Hi, I'm Joe, in brackets, 7Z. I stream sometimes, I'm playing Aldwin the Paladin.
It's not in fucking brackets on my fucking screen. Lauren?
Hello, I'm Lauren Danger on Twitter, Lauren Danger, in real life, sword fighter. But in this game, I'm playing Vasha, the cleric of Pelor the Sun God.
And last but not least, Claytor22.
Hi, I'm Claytor22. I play Bilfiz, the illusionist. This is going to kill my voice, but that's pretty much me.
Brilliant. And I'm playing Famis the Half-Elf Ranger. There we go. We're good. See, look, we got through that pretty quickly, Rooster. Pretty quickly. Right, so, Mr. Rooster Castile, or Dungeon Master Extraordinaire.
I'm not an extraordinaire.
Okay.
We need someone to recap what happened last time. Any volunteers?
I did volunteer, but I was shot down.
I think that what's going to happen is Bill Fizz will recap, and then James, you're going to correct him as he goes because he's going to try to gaslight the past.
Okay. I look forward to that.
All right, go ahead, both of you.
All right, so here's the deal. As I said at the table and anything. Okay, so I was trying to steal a book from a very old wizard, and then he revealed himself to be a giant gelatinous cube. And I swam through the cube, got the book, and went through a portal I had opened previously in a dangerous thing.
Right, so that
and I wound
didn't
up
happen at all. So basically, we all got captured. Basically, we all got tricked into going through doorways, and basically, we were kidnapped to another realm by some weird machine, weird-looking thing that I didn't actually see fully unclothed, but everyone else did.
And then I met a religious guard named Piggly Wiggly, and he lost out on 2 jingly janglies.
His name's Aldwin, but he's a paladin and not a guard.
And then I met responsible pet owner who has a pet bear.
Tally's the druid, the elven druid. You're elven, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wolf owner. She owns a wolf. Well, she has a companion called I forget the wolf's name.
Callan.
Talon.
Callan with a K.
Callan.
Yes.
Okay. Calvin is...
And then we found a normal guard who wasn't friends with the religious guard, and he took us to a church where he met some nice guy from the Church of Norm. Seems like a swell guy. Probably been down on his luck.
I think it was the Church of Nemo, wasn't it?
Church of Norm. And then we met a cleric who had healed me a few times. They're nice. And then I slept somewhere, and there was a mysterious pillow.
Okay, I've got quite a bit to fill in then. So basically, we found out that the town or the city, I'm not sure if it's a town or a city, whatever, is called Castle Neuros. Is that pronounced right? and it's in the kingdom of it's on an isle, I guess, because it's the kingdom of Neurosian Isle. And there's a nearby town called Riverton that I wrote down. That's what I wrote down. And I stayed in an inn.
Does anyone want to add any details to what they just said?
I could add a few.
Go ahead.
Our generous monkish host at the church is Jassim, and Nemo is a deity for travelers, stays neutral, and is all about self-improvement. And as Vasha, I drew this. This is what we're chasing. This is the bane of our existence right now. This. And it says, Ire per ostium, which is celestial for go through the door. Because that's what it made us do. Made us go through the door.
Are you just making up languages?
No, it's actually Latin, but whatever. But
You
I
didn't know
figured
that was Latin, James?
I don't
Latin.
know Latin. I didn't go to a private school to learn Latin. Barely can speak fucking English.
I didn't go to private school, and I know a little bit of Latin.
Wasn't really something we did in education.
I'm so sorry. You missed out.
I got an A
Did
in
I?
my first year Latin at
Did
university, and I dropped out a second year because Latin sucks. But whatever.
It's also a dead language as well, so I don't really see the point in learning Latin.
If you're in the
I
sciences, it's useful.
It's fun.
It's useful for scientists, but also as a speaker of English, it is useful to learn German and French and Latin because those are all of our root words. They come from those language groups. So if you learn, say, German and Latin, your English skills will like double. Your vocabulary will be much better because you understand where all the words come from.
Sure. Okay.
Das ist richtig.
When you
Ich
get a
spreche ein
G in
bisschen
German,
Deutsch, je parle un peu français.
when you get a G in German,
Jawohl.
doesn't really
Jawohl.
do much, you know.
Mm-mm.
Jawohl.
Right.
That's all I got.
I think we all just
so-
met up as well, haven't we? I've just been I think I got taken to this church of Nemo by the town guards.
Yes, Famus, you were the only one who stayed in an inn last night. Everyone else ended up at the church late at night.
They didn't get conned.
But nobody really got much rest. So it's up to each of you to decide like how on edge or stressed out your character will be.
Well, I took a nap, so I'm probably all right.
I say I don't even need to sleep, so
Sure, Famus is completely healthy and not disturbed at all by what happened.
Of course, I'm disturbed.
100% fine.
I'm fucking annoyed that I've been kidnapped.
Famus, I'd like to ask you a question.
Okay.
And you can just make up an answer here. You live a lonely life, but what sort of person would you keep around if you could?
Oh my god, that's not an easy question to answer, is it? What sort of person? Someone who...
A dog. Famus needs a dog.
Probably.
That's what I'm feeling right now.
Well, yeah, but that's not a person, though, is it? That's an animal.
Well, maybe to you it's animals or people.
Let's say
I don't know.
animal or people too.
Your personal outlook.
Probably, I mean, someone who'd probably compliment him. Someone who knows the world as well as he does.
That doesn't sound complimentary. That sounds something else. Complimentary would be like if you kept someone around who is socially adept, because Famus is not.
I thought that'd be
Right.
the opposite.
No, complimentary means you fit together and balance each other out.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Um,
Well, yeah, someone who's like not shy of hard work. Someone who can like live off the land.
so
so-
Famus really just wants to like
Yeah, meet
make friends
myself.
with other rangers.
Yeah, me. No.
So-
I don't know. Who knows?
So out of
Someone-
all these people you just met, you probably have the most immediate respect for Tali, I guess, because she's comfortable outdoors.
Well, I don't know, because we were both in town, so we were both fucking on edge.
Yeah, true.
I have a very important question.
Okay.
Yes. So, good friend Gnome, so do we call you William, Robert, Roberto? What do you prefer to be called? Before this meeting happens today, what would you like us to call you?
Yes.
Yes? Well, hello, yes. You have to choose one name. One name and only one name, because otherwise it gets confusing. It can be any name you like, but you have to choose it. It has to be one. Just one.
Wilberto Fizz.
I vote we call him Billy the Fizz.
All right, Piggly Wiggly. I refuse. You can call me whatever you wish. I'll answer.
That's just inviting us to call you Nomio. And I don't think you want that.
Nomio, Nomio, where art thou for Nomio?
You're so short we didn't see you and tripped over you again.
You can call me Roberto.
Okay. That is good.
What kind of name is Roberto? Is that like a halfling name or an orc name, or what culture has that name where you're from, Bilfis?
It's from a very peculiar person that I knew when I was a child. He was a half orc, halfling. Really, really weird parents. The mother was the half orc too. That's the. Let me tell you, their parents, looking back on it, was incredibly once in a lifetime chance to see them raising a child.
I knew a family that had a Doberman Pomeranian. That's just the person I'm imagining right now. It was this big, weird-looking dog that was just confused all the time. So it sounds like there's no Hispanic people in your homeland. So you've done well. I'm not offended. Perfecto. I have another question. I have a few questions, but we'll go one at a time. Tolly.
Yes.
What specific hatred invades your dreams?
The forest getting destroyed.
Is that like your hate in response of that, or like the hate of someone destroying the forest?
Like my hate of unnaturalness destroying the forest. So the forest being destroyed kind of like unnaturally.
Okay. It's a good answer. Is that something that you think about during your trance last night?
Yes.
What else do you think about?
So I probably would have been thinking, worrying about my forest back home. And then on top of that, though, trying to figure out where I was, because this does not seem. So I probably would have also had some trance about almost kind of like the situation where I was now. Like, where am I? Why? Where's my home? Where's my forest?
I imagine Tally and the wolf can't wait to be outside of the castle.
Yeah, we don't like it in here. It smells.
I have another question. Aldwin, this is the first of two.
Oh.
The first question is, How does Aldwin react when he notices Bill Fizz suddenly appear on the bed after his illusion ends last night before you tried to sleep? You were the only one who noticed immediately when it happened.
A bit startled, but I thought it might have been just a side effect of getting, well, not thrown through a portal, but just going through a portal and ending up somewhere. I have no idea where it is.
You thought you were hallucinating?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. A hallucinating paladin is going to be a really dangerous thing in the world. Don Quixote comes to mind.
Oh, God.
In the morning, do you have anything to say to Bill Fizz? Like, I've seen through your illusion, or anything like that? Or
An
are
illusion.
you...
What are you hiding? No. I'm going to be wary and
It was
just
all in my head. It was all
monitor
in
the
my
situation.
It was all in my head. Okay. I have another question for you, Aldwin. Is there some mission back home that you left incomplete?
Well, the ceremony being an obvious one to say.
Ceremony. That's a good answer, although I was thinking more like, what is your day-to-day deal as a paladin? Because the ceremony situation was just like a little side thing for you. But like your day-to-day job as a paladin always has something really important they're doing. Generally, you never have a paladin who's just like drunk in the woods all the time. That doesn't happen.
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you after a couple of questions. So think about it right now. Vasha, who among these people you just met seems the most trustworthy?
Not Roberto. Right now, I feel that Aldwin is probably the most trustworthy for me. Not just because he's paladin, but he seems to have been kind of calm and a bit grounded in all of this chaos. He hasn't freaked out. I mean, I'm not sure it's completely natural that wolves travel around with people, but it doesn't seem bad. However, I think Aldwin and maybe Famus would be people that I would immediately feel more trustworthy towards. People who can hold their own, independent, aren't necessarily tricksters. And I could understand a little bit of their lives and their part in the natural order of things.
So you just met Famus where we left off. Do you just look at him as a wilderness guy, make a snap judgment like this guy knows how to take care of himself?
Well, yeah, I mean, take a look at him, weathered boots, weathered face, whatever, and just have to make these kind of quick instinctual things and size people up. But yeah, he seems like that he's part of the system that keeps society turning. Even if it's on the fringes, it's still an important part. And if you're going to go into the wilderness and fight unnatural things, it's good to have a guide. Always good to have a guide.
Does your church back home work with rangers often? Is that like a type of person that you deal with frequently?
Not very often, but if there are rumors of like, there's an old ruin, a barrow, something has come to life, or there's trouble, the church often would have a ranger as a guide to lead priests and paladins out there to investigate and reconsecrate the ground, make sure that if anything's been disturbed, it's put back to its rest.
Like Bill Fizz needs to be put back to his rest.
He needs to be a pillow and sleep, yes. Can you smother a shapeshifted gnome as a pillow with another pillow? I mean, how does he breathe?
You would need a really big pillow because you wouldn't know where his face is.
Okay, duly noted. Hire giant with giant-sized pillow to smother gnome shapeshifted pillow. Got it.
Wow, already we're plotting each other's murders. Great.
Yeah.
Not murdering anyone. I'm just comedy brass right there. Comedy brass. Because there's no comedy gold comes from me.
It's fine. It's fine. I've already plotted all of your deaths accordingly. Don't worry.
Wow. Wow. Bill Fizz,
Yes.
what can you learn from divine spellcasters who might be indebted to you? If you had leverage on a divine spellcaster, what would you get out of them? What knowledge would you seek?
I would say heal. They're heal. I would say they're spells that make me feel better, but then they'd be useless to me and disregard them for more information. Ways to imbue a weapon or feel well protected and safe.
So you would be thinking more about their spells than anything else.
Also some knowledge into their religion.
What about us divine spellcasters' religion matters to you?
Well, it's clearly they have a giant connection to a deity, whereas I kind of just just.
That's your connection, just saying that.
Yeah.
And making jazz hands.
Yeah, jazz hits. But for me, it's more a lip service, and I worship my book and my spells.
Ah, I see. So having like an infrastructure, an organization protecting you and helping you doesn't seem appealing, like what divine spellcasters typically have.
I mean, it does, because they have they have a backing. They have friends. There's no wizard tower. Clearly, I mean, there are wizard towers, and, groups of people, but so many people, and you're just studying a book all the time. It's not as fun, and like they're able to go out and roam the world and heal the sick, and smash the dead, and it just seems like more fun.
It sounds like you have respect for people that go around healing others.
Absolutely, I do.
So even though you're a worshiper of Ouijas, you still feel like do-gooders have a place in the world?
Yes. Ouijas may be the god of death, but they are also a god of magic.
Hmm.
I worship the more magic side.
I see. I'm glad we're getting a picture into Bill Fizz's mind right now. Of course, you could just be lying to me. All of this could be just made up nonsense. It's not at all what you believe.
It's like 50-50. You're taking a gamble here.
I see.
No, it's actually like, yeah. I'm developing it as I go. So yes, much respect for religious folk.
Well, it's fine if you develop it as we go. That's part of why we do these like little asides.
Yeah.
So we get to know you, and then you can get to know yourself. Aldwin, have you thought of anything?
Yes, so when I agreed to assist with the ceremony at the Church of Pelor, I was told there's also a case of adventurers going missing in the area. And if I could look into that, rumor has it there's a powerful lich that might be taking people.
So you did have an ulterior motive to hook up with the Pelor Church.
Yes.
Did you want to like form a crusading group of experts and go take out a
Yeah.
lich? I see. How confident were you in that task? Was it like this is gonna be my death, but I'll accomplish something, or is it like no, this is just a thing? I'll be over with
This is just a phase.
and we'll go on to our next challenge.
I was fairly confident it would be okay. Would be plenty of capable, heroes with me at the Church of Pelor.
I'm sorry that I'm typing so much, but I gotta put.
No, it gives you an idea.
Okay. So it's morning, and Jasm had just told you that the Watchman and a priestess of Pelor and himself, I think that's everybody. There are going to be a group of people assembling in the church around midday, so in a few hours, 2 or 3 hours. And he really badly wanted all of you to be there because he wanted your help with something, because the Pelor priestess is investigating what happened to you all. And also he's hoping that in the course of this, he as a travel god monk can help you all get home, which he considers super important.
What does he look like?
Jasm?
Yeah,
he's
is he grey, short, in a red robe?
No, he's not the dungeon master. No. Jasm is a middle-aged elf monk who just wears a robe and nothing else, and probably has graying hair, but still beautiful because he's a full elf, and no wrinkles at all because he's an elf.
So we automatically hate him. Okay, got it.
Yeah, fucking elf bastard. Fuck elves. Hashtag fuck elves. No, Jasm does not look like the dungeon master. I'm sorry. So each of you had also been invited to breakfast, but breakfast wasn't like mandatory or anything. It's just something that the church provides, and that would happen in there's like a mess hall that's not very large. It's just got a couple of tables, and it's generally for the priests and monks that stay in the cloistered part of the cathedral. But since you're all being sheltered by the cathedral, you've all been invited to like eat with them rather than go hungry. Not that Jasm considers you like in his custody, but he wants to take care of you. Whatever you need, he's going to try to help with. So you can go to breakfast, or you can go find your own meal. You can also track down Jasm and talk to him some more if you would like, because he's not going anywhere. He's staying in the church this morning. And also, those two watchmen from yesterday are going to be around somewhere. They're going to be coming to the meeting, so you can go talk to them if you'd like. And then, of course, at the meeting is the arrival of the Pelor priestess, who you have not met yet. So if you'd like to meet her for anything, then you'll have to be at the meeting. So do we have anyone who wants to go out elsewhere for breakfast to
I've
start
already
with?
eaten.
So Famus, what do you do for these couple of hours since you've already eaten at the inn?
I'm just going to go have an explore of the town, just look round it.
Just going to get lost?
I'm probably not going to like go too far off the main road. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'll probably just keep on this main road, just look at what shops and what wares people were selling in, and just have a browse and kill some time in the market, I guess. Talk to people, try and talk to people. Not that I'm going to be very good at it. Mainly listen to people, and you just hear what the word is on the town is. I guess would be what I will be doing.
So you like to go interact with the market and then eventually gather information to see what you can learn?
Not necessarily like directly interact with people, but sort of like just get a feel of what the town, what's going on, what rumours are going on, what things are, what people are worried about, how far spread is this like invasion thing they were talking about the other day, I overheard.
So it sounds like this would still be gather information, but at a penalty because you're not directly talking to people.
Sure.
So I'll give you, since it's a marketplace and a lot of people will be chatting. That'll be like -2 on the roll, but I don't want you to make the roll yet.
Okay.
Around the church are all those kind of gray buildings on 3 sides of the church, which lead off into the district where you get lost easily. And then on one side of the church is a market road. And it's not a massive market, but it's a market. And it's mainly a bunch of shops and craftsmen's halls. And then alongside all the buildings, there's market stalls set up. And then a lot of merchants bring in carts. And so not just the road is full of people selling things, but also every alley leading off from this road generally has some merchants who have something something that needs a lot of space. So like a carpet merchant will generally be set up in an alleyway.
Is it bustling? Is it lively? Or is it oppressed? Is it? I mean, what does the general feel of like this town is? Do you know what I mean?
You can definitely tell this is a kind of military town. People are a lot of people seem like they have militia training. A lot of people seem like they're not complacent about where they walk, how they stand, how they interact with other strangers. Everyone seems pretty confident and not fearful, though. Like, people aren't worried or panicking about anything. Like, there's no big invasion happening today or anything like that. But these people have been through some things.
They've seen some shit.
Yeah. So you've heard that this was a fort town. This castle has been invaded in the past. So these people generally reflect that. Like, these people have seen war. But they're not, you're not seeing carts of dead bodies going through the streets or like medics rushing around. There's no war happening here at the moment. Can you remind the audience about the invasion rumor thing that you had heard previously?
Yeah, they think that. Well, I overheard in the inn that I was staying at that they believe that someone's invading from the inside, getting people in. Whether it's tied to us, I'm not sure, but there's some bad people hidden amongst everyone, and everyone's not too sure about anyone that they meet.
So I have one last thing before I let you all gather information. You need to make some sort of roll to make yourself look non-threatening as you're just staring at people in the market and not talking to them.
Well,
people,
no, I'll just overhear. I'm just trying to overhear. But if I have to say something, I'll say something. I'll talk to people if I need to.
You do stand out in a crowd.
Okay.
And so if you're just quietly walking along staring at people, I think the people would be staring back at you like, what the hell is this guy about?
Yeah, okay. Well, then I'll talk to some of them and go, good morning. It's a beautiful day today.
Roll diplomacy.
Well, that's fucking good, isn't it? 24.
So worried you were, jeez. No one gives you any side eye. You have lively small talk with people passing by. You do just fine fitting into the crowd.
Do people seem to know each other? If that makes any sense.
You do see a lot of regulars who talk to the merchants, people that buy from the same merchants every day. That kind of thing.
Because obviously, in a small village or a hamlet or whatever, people generally know everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no idea how big this city is, or if it is a city. Is it a city or is it a town?
How far are you going to wander?
Not far. Like I said, I'm not going to wander that far.
You've only got a couple hours.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just going to stick to the main road and then wander back once I think I've hit about halfway.
You think that this? Well, what size city has Famous been in the past? What is the biggest city that you've been to?
He's probably been to Palantheus.
Can you tell the audience about how big that city is?
It's a massive circle city with rings around it. Do I have a map of it? No, I can't bother to get a map. But yeah, it is a city. It's classed as a city. I can't remember how big it is, Rooster.
This city is much different than that one, but these two cities have in common that people have been through wars. That's reflected in people. People you're seeing don't generally know each other. There's a lot of people that are unfamiliar with each other, so this isn't like a village or anything. And these like 4-story buildings alongside the road obscure any view you would have of anything outside of the immediate district.
I know it was occupied. I think it was occupied during the War of the Lance, but I can't remember. I know there was a battle there.
I think it was occupied more than once, but I don't remember for sure. I mean, dragons, right? They're going to conquer cities easily because they can fly and breathe fire. Dragonlance. Anyway. Now, Famous.
Sorry.
You can roll your gather information, and there's going to be no penalty.
Shit.
Oh!
Might as well have included the fucking penalty because I weren't going to get much better than. I think I rolled a 2. Yeah, I rolled a 2.
I don't think that you learned anything additional to what you already knew.
It was worth a try, wasn't it? I mean, I'm not eating breakfast. I've already eaten, so I just thought, and I just get a lay of the land.
Famous, I think we'll leave you off there. And then we'll talk to Tolly. You're muted.
Hi.
Hello. So what is it like in the morning when you've got to walk the wolf and eat nuts beside this big church made of stone? And then hang out for 2 hours before meeting up with these people?
I would probably be, I don't know, try to see if I can get any sense of kind of the area. So, I mean, I'm still probably trying to figure out a way to get out of the city.
Yeah.
It's probably the only thing that I'm really concerned about is probably that, and then a little bit concerned about this big unnatural thing, destroyer of nature, that just disappeared on me, because that's even more unnatural. So that's really got me kind of peaked.
You did talk to the other people briefly who described it, and so you heard the descriptions of other people who saw under its robe what it looked like. It was definitely not like a person.
Yes, which is definitely not. Yes. So I mean, yeah, I'm extremely curious. It's not quite curious. Curious, but in an angry kind of way, because this thing is definitely not natural. It harmed the forest for no reason other than to apparently try to lure me and anger me. So whatever this is, it's no good.
Can you remind the audience what it did to your woods?
Yes. So this thing killed a mother bear whose cubs were pretty much sitting there in the cave with it. And it was not pretty. So.
And it was clearly like a murder intended to provoke you.
Yeah, there was nothing gone from the bear. It was just brutally slaughtered for absolutely no reason, with the cubs left there to fend for themselves.
Yeah. It didn't harvest the meat or the skin or anything. It just killed the bear.
Yeah.
Then it led you on a chase through the woods.
Yes, it did.
And then into that village.
Yes, and then we cornered it in a house, and then when we went into, so me and Callan were pincering attack it from 2 different doors, and when we crossed the doors, we were brought to this disgusting people-filled place with no trees.
Oh, there's a few trees here in this little like park.
In this park, yes. But I imagine any trees elsewhere are going to be scrawny and
Yeah, I
potentially.
don't think that if you go outside the church, you're going to see any trees around
That's-
any other
Yeah.
nearby area. The marketplace has a dirt road, but it doesn't have any like vegetation. It's like dirt that people walk over all the time, so there's never a chance for anything to grow.
Yeah, I would pretty much be happy in my little garden until. Although I may be going to look see if I can get any information on this thing that, like that famous guy, he seemed okay. He's an elf, so I think he's okay.
How do you go about tracking down Famus before the meeting?
I would maybe see if my my wolf remembers his scent and can find him for me.
Do you have a way to tell your wolf, that ranger guy, find him?
No. So
In the future,
Yeah.
when you can wild shape, when you become any sort of wolf
actually, I
or
think
dog,
I can talk to animals.
I think you have
I have something that I can talk to them, I think, actually.
animal empathy, which lets you communicate basic things with animals.
Yes.
But once you get wild shape and you can transform into any canine form, when you're in a canine form, you can speak to any other canine as though you had a common language.
Okay.
Also, there's spells that are like talk to animals that you get at like level 2 or 3, something like that.
Yes.
And then one of the things your wolf can get later on is it can learn to speak Druidic. I'm not positive on that. So in the future, talking to animals will be easier, but for now, I think you have basic methods.
Yes.
So let's look at animal empathy and see what it says. Let me find Druid in the player's handbook. Druid. Wild empathy, that's what it's called. Druid can use body language, vocalizations, and demeanor to improve the attitude of an animal. This ability functions just like a diplomacy check to improve the attitude of a person. Druid rolls a d20, blah, blah, blah. So you can... So basically, you can convince any animal you meet to do something using wild empathy. Because that's what diplomacy is generally used for. It's
Okay.
used for like making a friend out of an NPC to get them to do something for you.
Okay.
So yeah, that's not gonna let you like ask your wolf
Yeah,
to find Famus.
Not gonna. Yeah. So then.
Okay, let's think about that for a second, and let me ask you something else.
Yes.
Do you prepare your spells at night or in the morning?
So I prepare them just before I go to meditation or trance. So it's
So do
kind
you
of
have
like the beginning phase of my going into trance. So I will prepare my spells.
Are there specific spells that you would have picked for this kind of situation? I'm looking forward to the day ahead because you generally had an agenda of what was asked of you today. So is there anything that you would have picked out?
I actually did. Let's see. I picked some, but let me double check what I picked. Here we go.
Vasha will have to update her spell list as well.
They're the
and
same.
Bilfiz.
I will.
So
Okay, now I see your spells. So you've prepared guidance, detect magic, magic fang, and produce flame.
Yes.
So you're expecting a fight today, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I am, so I'm, even though I got, some rest with my trance and everything like that, I'm feeling pretty good physically. I'm still really on edge emotionally and mentally because I no idea where I am. And even if I was somewhere somewhat familiar, I'm in a city where I'm extremely uncomfortable.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm pretty much just preparing to, in case I run into this strange creature again, or, I mean, city people are crazy. You don't know what they're gonna do, especially when you have might have to defend by wolf, or
Yeah, you never know
who
what
knows what they're gonna
Roberto's
do.
gonna do. You might have to set him on fire,
Exactly.
and then cast magic fang and have your wolf bite him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
That's
I'm looking over your animal companion, and your animal companion has the link power, which says that if you ever have to roll wild empathy or handle animal on your wolf, you get +4.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that if you met like a strange wolf in the forest using wild empathy, you would be able to befriend it and get it to do something basic. But you and Colin, right? That's his name.
Yes.
You and Colin have a pretty good communication because of link, because you're like spiritually bonded. So I'm gonna say that you could make a wild empathy roll to see if you can get the wolf to understand you want it to find Famus.
Okay. Where do
So
I
the wild empathy roll is going to be a d20 plus your druid level, so 1, plus your charisma modifier, then +4 because of the link power.
Okay. So I do
So
this by
that's
doing
a total of 7. So it roll 1d20 plus 7.
21.
Right on. All right. So you and the wolf have a moment in a park, and then the wolf starts setting off. When it's tracking someone casually, is there like a procedure for this, like how you have the wolf behave?
Not really. I mean, I don't really believe in controlling them. We're more
Mhm.
like friends kind of thing. So
Right.
he's probably just trotting along, and I'm probably just a few steps behind, because I don't trust these city people with my wolf, my
Right.
friend here. And in my experience, city people tend to go a little bit, they don't respond well to a large feral canine roaming
Yes.
the streets. So
A lot of the merchants that are in the market, Colin leads you into the market, and there's a lot of merchants that use donkeys and mules and horses and things, and there's dogs and cats, birds. So the wolf is occasionally glancing over at other animals, but just keeps on going to its goal. Because the wolf was fed this morning by the monks, so it's not gonna like bite a random mule on the side of the market or anything like that. But if you are willing to go through the marketplace, you will find Famus. Are you comfortable walking through a busy market?
no, I would probably put a hand on Callan and to like stop him from going further, and then look around and see if there's anywhere that looks a little bit quieter where we might be able to wait and see if Famus comes back towards the church, and try and meet up with him then.
In front of the main doors of the church are there's a couple of buildings, but in between the church and those buildings, there's kind of a big, like, seating area with a couple of shrines. They're kind of quiet and shaded by the trees in the park that are just around the corner. And this area has less disturbed dirt because people don't trample it all the time, but there's still not much growing. But that's a place you could wait where there's not many people. And Famous would have to come back this way anyway to get back into the church.
Yeah, so I would probably wait there.
All right.
I would wait there, yes.
Aldwin.
Yep.
Who would you go to for information about this guy that abducted you?
Information on him. Well, I'd ask around the mess hall, ask the monks if they're aware of anything.
You can roll gather information for that specific thing you just described.
Okay, let me go find it. Skills.
Yeah. How does it go when you're trying to ask these monks and you just don't quite get your point across?
They don't seem interested in talking to me.
This guy.
Thought
I
he
think
saw a pillow move this morning.
I don't think they understand who you're a paladin of, because we established last time that your symbol of Heronius and your general way of dress is not the same as local Knights of Heronius. So when people look at you, they're a little bit confused because they don't know what you're about.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of that. So after breakfast, do you go anywhere else?
I'll try to have a talk with... What was the guy's name again?
Jasm?
Jasm, yep. Go have a talk with Jasm if he can reveal anything else.
To find Jasm, you'll have to roll search. Ha ha ha! Make the paladin roll skill checks. Ha ha! Oh, you did well. All right. Jasm is in an office in the cloister. He's just kind of in there doing some inscription of something or other. And you walk in and he says, Aldwin, hello.
Morning, Jasm.
Good morning. How was breakfast?
It was good. Had some nice quality porridge that you serve here.
Yes, and I believe there were berries and vegetables as well. My favorite.
Yep.
So, what do you need? What can I do for you?
Hoping to get a bit more information as to how we may have got here, if you may know. Has anybody else perhaps come through like we did?
We've heard stories of other people appearing in the town recently. And we've also heard that people are being abducted. So we believe that perhaps there's someone intentionally doing this, bringing people here and abducting others from here. We're not really sure why, but I'm personally certain that whoever's doing this has a plan, has some reason. Because this can't be just a random coincidence. This thing doesn't happen all the time. I've been living here many years, and this is a trend that is very recent and very prevalent. But I don't otherwise know very many details about the person who brought you here.
There's no leads on anything.
Well, that's what we'll discuss at the meeting later today when we all get back together. We'll hopefully
Okay, then.
pass some information along and each of us can contribute something.
Thank you, Jasm, and I'll just head back out.
So where do you go to spend your couple of hours?
Go to pray.
Do Do you pray in the church or somewhere else?
In the church.
Do you go to like the front of the congregation hall and like
Kneel down.
read a prayer of Nemo? What? Tell me what you do.
I go to the front and just like kneel down and I suppose think about who might have put us here and for what reason. Whether it's malicious intent or whether we're here for a greater purpose. Whether Erroneous or another god may have been involved. And hope that we find out soon. And that Jasm can shed some more light once we're all together again.
I have a specific question. How do you end the prayer? Does it end like in Heronius' name, Amen? How do you end a prayer?
In Erroneous' name, amen.
Okay. J-Wall. That's J-Wall for you, everybody.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Are you going to wait in the church until the meeting or go and find something else to do? Yeah, praying isn't going to take you 2 hours unless you really like it to.
I'll just have a quick look around outside now that it's daytime.
Well, outside you see there's like there's a couple of shrines to other gods in front of the church, and there's seating areas, and you can see Tolly out there with the wolf hanging out on a bench, looking nervous because there's no vegetation. There's a couple of people coming and going from the church, but really these at the moment these shrines are kind of lonely. There's not too many people there.
All right. I go up to Tali and ask if she's okay and what she thinks about everything going on.
Fuck off, Metal Man! You're muted, Kitty.
I will get the hang of this eventually. I would just look up at him with kind of like a "what do you think" kind of look on my face, and it would just be like, there's no trees, there's no grass, the air stinks. I do not like it here. Do you know what has happened? Like, where are we?
I have no idea. I've spoken to Jasm and hoping that we can find out more once we all gather again in a couple of hours.
I would just kind of sigh. I mean, sucks not knowing what's going on or anything. Well, that's hopefully he'll have some information for us. I need to get out of this place.
I think we're all quite eager to discover why we're here and how to leave when we can leave.
That's for sure. Yep.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't have much else to say. I mean, he doesn't really know too much. Not much more than I do. So at this point, I'm just kind of waiting see if Famis knows anything, or this meeting now that maybe they can get me out of the city. It's pretty much all I'm thinking about at this point. Is it's hard to think when I'm not in my element.
Yeah. We're going to change gears for a moment. Vasha,
Yes.
How do you go about preparing your spells every day? Tell me your
Oh, well, because it's worship of the sun, the light. Spells are refreshed every day with the morning rites, morning prayers. So the sunrise prayer. So as the first light breaks and you pray through to as the sun rises, and that's when the spells are renewed. With the light of the new day comes a new opportunity to use the blessings of Pelor to do deeds that in service of the light.
So do you go outside the church to do this and find?
It doesn't have to be outside the church, as long as there's a window. It could be inside a church. I mean, most temples, churches to Pelor have some sort of glass. The light comes in at a certain angle at certain times of the day to let you know. So as long as you are in a holy space. But I think because it's not home, because it's someone else's religion, I probably would want to go out in that little garden. And or any place, that space that faces the east, and just enjoy that moment of bright warmth and just do the morning rituals and prayers and light defend us all.
It's springtime here. I don't know what season it was back home, but it's springtime here. So the dawn is quite warm. And the kind of seating area outside of the church has plenty of light because there's a bit of space before the next building. So there's it's a sunny area.
Excellent.
And one of the shrines outside is to Pelor, although their symbol and iconography is a smidge different.
Dum vivent in lucum, long live the light. That's how the prayers end.
Did you pick your spells for the day?
They're all listed in. They're on my character sheet. There are set up. Cure minor wounds, light, purify food, cure light wounds, divine favor. I've made it a decision that as a cleric of Pelor to always have the light cantrip. It is a requirement. Can't substitute it for anything else. Must have a light spell.
That sounds reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
when
I
Bill
think
is
that
annoying you could just cast light on his face, and he's
Why?
doesn't he get a saving throw for trying to cast it in his eyes?
Why did you do this? Who
I just
did
cast
this?
it on his beard. His gnomish beard just glows. It's like, and I probably offer him like, look, let me massage this beard oil and then cast light as part of the ritual and say, it's now luminous and glows. It is fantastic.
and also he can't see anything.
No, he's just got this glow that kind of comes up of his face. And everything in a 60-foot radius is going to glow
God.
from Bill Fizz's beard. I don't actually do that.
I know.
Not this morning, because the sun came up. And I will eat breakfast with the various monks, and I will just listen in and learn about Nemo, because I don't know enough about Nemo. And just learn and absorb, offer to help if I can. I have healing skills, so it's like before the meeting, if they know of do people come in for help, healing, the sick, whatever, is there anything I can do? I have my healer's kit, and I can just rummage through and do a few things. Or use some of their supplies, whatever, and just offer to be helpful and just wait for the meeting.
Would you like to roll gather information while you're talking to the monks?
Sure. La, 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 la. Did we ever figure out the GM only roll and all that stuff?
If you expand the macro, the text box where all the weird numbers are next to the skill, I believe by default they all have /GM roll, and you can just backspace GM and have.
Oh well, that'll be something for another time, I think.
I see a 6. So
I learned nothing.
I think that you just get some small talk with the monks.
Okay. That's fine.
They let you know that there's not really like clerics stationed here in the same way that Pelor churches have clerics are a big deal. Nemo mostly has monks and bards and divine casters. Not that many clerics. In that way, the Church of Nemo is similar to other magic-based gods, although Nemo is not a god of magic.
I will resist saying, have you heard the word of Pelor? I'm just doodling on a sketchbook. It's fun. But no, I just want to wait for the meeting. I'm interested for someone of my own faith to show up and so we can figure out. I'm starting to think that this is not the same planet. It was more summery than spring. The time of day is different. I've never heard of the Nerosian Isle before.
You could just be on a different fucking... You could be below the equator.
Continent. It could, but...
So it could well be the
I don't know. We need... It's certainly far from home, but they understand us, so it's quite peculiar. So I'm just gonna wait for the meeting. That's where I'll ask my questions.
Do you have knowledge geography?
I don't think I put points into it, but let's have a look and see. I have like 1 rank in it or something.
One rank?
No, I have a bonus of 1 and no ranks. So
Okay.
I'm not even gonna bother. I don't really know.
If you had ranks, I would let you make a roll, but you don't.
No.
I've got...
I know
geography.
nothing.
Hooray.
I think we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back, and I think Vasha and Bilfiz are going to encounter each other in the church. Let's go to break, James.
Okay,
okay
I'll
with
get my
this.
beard salve ready and we'll have some fun.
All right. So one moment. Hang on. All right, so we're going to go to break. Obviously, that means anyone in the live chat will be able to interact with us in our intermission. But for now, anyone who's watching on YouTube, we'll be back in a moment. Right, and we're back for part 2 of our Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm suffering from fucking cramp at the moment.
Enjoy that.
I am.
So we were talking to Vasha, and where did we leave off?
Oh, you said I was going to encounter Bilfiz.
Oh, yes. Bilfiz,
Mm-hmm.
how do you go about preparing your spells in the morning? What's your process?
I prepare. Oh, I didn't prepare them before night. Normally, I do when I wake up in the morning. If I do have to do it in the morning, I do it over a cup of hot water. I like the steam to clear the sinuses.
It's really good for the spell book too.
Yeah, it's no, it's over here. It's
So, so Bilfiz has to huff as he prepares spells every day.
yes, confirmed. No. So I do that, clear my sinuses out, prepare the spells, and kind of, what kind of day am I going to have today? Like, he has his staple summon creature 1, and the other staple he almost always prepares is detect magic, because it's useful.
You just get 2 level 1 spells right now?
I think I get 3. I get 3. So I need to pick a third one. So days. It prepares days, just in case. So Ray of Frost is also the I need to run maneuver. After if some monster 1 doesn't work, Ray of Frost and run away.
Ray of Frost is a cantrip, right? So you can have you have a bunch of cantrips because you're a gnome.
Yes.
Because you get bonus because of gnomish powers. Don't ask questions, just accept it.
Yeah, I have like Prestidigitation, Arcane Mark, Ghost Sound, Talk to Animals, Burrowing, once per day. So
don't question it, just accept it. Gnomes are magic. I imagine a society where everyone uses Prestidigitation all the time would be confusing as hell.
Oh my god, it'd be the best.
Yeah, that also. It would be the best. So where do you go to prepare your spells? Do you stay in?
It really doesn't matter. Like I can go anywhere. It's more of like like I stated earlier, it's more of a studying of I follow the book versus like a cleric who has to go to an altar and pray or go to the religious symbol and pray. To me, my book is my thing. It's my focus. It doesn't matter where I am. This is where I'm going to be able to do it.
So what place do you choose for the day? In this church or outside of it?
I choose a pew in the back, and I'm kind of like knees up, facing the book, going, I have no idea what the hell is going on.
Do you have to say many things as you're pre-casting spells in the morning? Do you like recite along like
Yeah.
verbal recipe of magic words to prepare like summon monster 1 or something like that?
Yes. Let's see. Like it's more so for like summon monster 1, it's like come here and fight for me, or come here and protect me, or come here and for the love of God don't kill me.
So do you have a lot of people that are looking at you like, what the hell, as they're coming into the church in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I look up, look back down at the book, go back to look back at the thing and go, okay. If somebody says hi, it's like, hello, hi. I do the things.
So Vasha's coming back in after having prayed outside next to the shrine and looked around and so on. And Vasha, you see Roberto or William or Wilberto or whatever his name is.
Roberto, we're gonna call him Roberto.
He's clearly reciting spells there in a pew. Do you watch him? Do you interrupt?
I do not interrupt. I am too respectful for that. I mean, I will sit there and I will watch, but discreetly. Maybe I'll go like somewhere to the side or behind him, sort of. I'll angle myself there and just watch and just observe, smile, just learning.
Are you studying Bilfiz as a person, his spells?
Oh, as a person, his spells are good for him, but they are not my calling.
You probably can't even understand his magic words because
No,
they're in secret wizard language.
Yes, they are not my purpose.
Yeah.
The Red Book of Lights does not encourage that.
So Bilfiz, what do you do when you have just finished your spells? Do you have a moment of "ha, triumph, I've done my thing," or do you just like trudge along and find something to do?
You slam the book close and put it back in its bag and go, all right, I'm ready.
And there's Vasha staring at you.
What?
Yeah.
Hello, Light Cleric. How are you?
Oh, hello, Roberto. Oh, I'm just checking to make sure that you're doing well today. How is that arm, by the way?
It's good. It is good. It is good.
Excellent. You know about magic, and I'm just wondering. Oh, yes, it is. And I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts, any insight. I mean, glowing doorways, gelatinous monsters that try to hide spell books, very strange things. Is it some sort of, do you think some sort of, I don't know, I know there are other planes of existence different from our own. Do you think that glowing doorways have something to do with this?
It could. I'm more curious about the gelatinous cube thing and what the purpose is.
We should try to find one. If it's here, we should try to find it. Do you think the others would agree? Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
We should find them and yes, do terrible things. Not terrible things. We need the information.
Yes.
We need
well,
we need information, and I want to know why I couldn't get the. I mean, I got the spell book, but I want to know why it was so interested in me.
And so gelatinous and cubey. Ugh. Unnatural, if you ask me.
I mean, it is.
This is all far too bizarre, far too complicated. But I will gladly stand by your side as we investigate all of this. And the light shall find the truth for us. And we will. Well, I can do my work anywhere, but I assume that you wish to go home. More familiar spot.
I do.
Yes, we will find a way out so that we may be reunited with those we know best in this pleasant but strange Nemoism. Well, it'll serve us for now. But anyway, I shall leave you be. I will pray and offer help where I can. If you do need anything, do ask. I mean, the well-being of my new friends, I suppose we can say. It's very important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We will find a way through this.
Yes. Thank you, Roberto. I put my hand on his shoulder and I'm like, thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I can count on you. And then I just kind of la disappear. Happy in the light and the sun but really inside I'm like gears of brain power going fast, thinking about all the different things, trying to remember all the books that I wasn't supposed to read that I did read when I was a young novice at the Abbey. And all these things about planner and separation and where dark energies come from and so forth. None of it is really
self-worth comes from dark energy, confirmed.
Yes. Okay. And then otherwise wait for the meeting.
Bilfiz, what do you do next?
I go find the priest.
The priest?
The one of Norm.
Jasm.
He's referring to Jasm. How do you go about finding Jasm? A church isn't exactly like your home turf. You don't know your way around.
I waddle my way up to the front, and I start rapping on the podium.
There's some people in the pews just like staring at you because there's no one there at the front except people praying.
Does anybody know how to get a hold of Norm? Priest of Norm?
There's people like rolling their eyes.
Head priest of Norm? Jazzy McJazzerson?
If I'm still around, I will quickly swish up and go, Jasm, he's probably in an office. And I try to, remembering where monks and officials would normally be, and just come on, come with me. And I'll just escort him and try and quickly, and then, bow and apologize to the people who are there for their own worship. And just
I can imagine down the line, just down the road, in the future. Do any of you read Asterix? The Bard. You're going to be the Bard. You're going to be tied up on a tree every night. just with a fucking gag in your mouth so you can't make any noise.
I'm a pillow. You'll never find me.
Bilfiz, do you go along with Vasha when she escorts you away?
Yes.
Vasha, I think you find Jasm easily.
Okay. And then I just kind of usher him in, and then I'm off to go and see if I can help, clean up anything, do anything. I'm just trying to be very useful to repay the generosity of feeding us and giving us a place. So I'm off doing whatever.
So Bilfiz, you're in Jasm's office, and he's just kind of like, "What is even just happening just now?" As Basha takes off.
Well, look, I was knocking on your podium trying to get a hold of you. I typically don't come here. I mean, this is my first time here. I'm not exactly sure. But
Do
clearly,
I have a podium? Anyway, what do you need?
look, just so Church of Norm. What is it? So you're a traveling god,
Nemo.
Norm. So, like, I'm just trying to figure out. So you travel, like, so do you bless us in traveling? Like, what about if we're not from here?
It is my intention to help you get back home. We try to help people get to where they need to go. It's one of our things. What else would you like to know?
Like, I mean, what else is your thing? Like, do you guys have to go on a pilgrimage? Do you, like, can you walk faster? Do you have to walk? Can you take a horse or a cart? Which would, I guess, would be if that goes faster. Do you have traveling priests?
Yes. Yes to all of the above, really. Everything you just asked, yes.
Okay. Now, what about through the plains?
Some people do that. I don't personally do that. As a monk here, I mainly stay in the cathedral, but I have traveled far and wide, but not to other realms of creation.
Have you had an elder? What is a higher up called? An elder, a priest?
We have a high proselyte, but they're elsewhere.
Oh, so your big giant head of the Church of Norm. Now, does he travel frequently?
Yes.
Like, where's he? Like, can we get like an audience? Can you send like a note?
What would you need from him? What specifically could he do for you that we can't do here?
Well, I mean, like, maybe he could tell us where we're from. Like, I don't know what realm I'm from technically. Like, it's just this is a different realm. This is not on the same planet, or sorry, this is not on the same world thing. I'm a bobber.
Can you tell me about your homeland? Maybe I know of it.
Well, to the north is the Barbarian Horde, and very nomadic tribe. They have a few traveling clerics, not of Norm, but of something else. I can't remember. Possibly. And he trails off for like a second, like paused, like is he stuck? Yeah, no, I don't remember. And then to the east is the Dwarven Gnomish Alliance. And at the center of it all is this town of Festivule.
I don't think that I have a clear picture of where you're from, but perhaps I've just never been there or met anyone else from there.
That's fair. That's
what is your political structure? What is your nation or kingdom?
Well, in the Dwarven Gnomish Alliance, we have an underground kingdom of pathways with only a few strategic entrances for trade and for defense purposes. It was established in the year of 18 AD when we realized that we were both burrowing people and we both liked shiny things. This led to a great marriage between a dwarf and a gnome, and their name, they had several children and thus consecrating the alliance forever.
I don't think I know of this alliance personally, but maybe you'll find someone that knows of that place. It is my understanding that the place you call home, the place you're from, you have a spiritual bond to that place. So if you were to meet someone who could take you to other realms of existence, I think it would be easier to get you home than you think.
Okay.
However, I'm a monk. I do not work in cosmic powers.
Phenomenal cosmic powers is probably my range of things.
I see. If that's so, then you could get yourself home.
I wish I could. I didn't. I mean, I got the spell book. I just don't know how to read the spell book. Clearly in a language I don't understand. Clearly.
Right. Is there anything else I can tell you? Is there anything else you'd like to know?
That is... What is the delicacy that I have to eat while I'm here?
Well, you'll have to try the flank of Spike Beast. It's a local thing. You may not have them back home, but we have these great lizards, and they roam the wilderness, and it's one of our prized meals. It's very expensive, but it's a thing here.
I will have to try it then.
I imagine at your size, it wouldn't be a massive hunk of meat, but more like a fillet.
Probably. I mean, I could pack away a lot, but let me tell you, this size is if it's bigger than me, there's no chance.
Right. Yeah. These lizards are definitely bigger than you.
Oh, see, there we go.
And me.
Oh.
And probably bigger than anyone I've ever met.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will take my leave then. I will see you at the meeting. Thank you for the information.
Sure. Safe travels.
Absolutely. Norm be with you.
Yes, and you too. Yes. After Bill Fizz walks out of the office and as he closes the door, he's like, "Can I get some fucking work done without being interrupted?" He goes back to writing down his notes. Try the steak. What am I, a concierge? Scribbling at his scrolls.
What I've learned, Rooster, is that you can make anything up for Belfaz, whatever, Claytor's character, because he's a compulsive liar. So you could literally just go. Actually,
how do you know I'm lying?
I'm assuming that everything Bill Fizz just said was nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
The Great Dwarven Gnomish Alliance, I felt was like fucking good.
I'm taking it with a grain of salt.
A grain?
A truckload of salt.
I've got a truck riding soon.
Truckload of salt.
Fuck. No credit. Fine. I see how it is. I'm trying to world build here, and you're just stomping all over me. Typical giants.
Yes, I'm a giant. Confirmed.
Well, I'm a gnome. You're all giants.
Vasha, when you're asking the monks if there's anything you can do, they say you could go out and clean the area around the Pelor Shrine.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, I do that.
And of course, they're not like monks of Pelor, so they don't know how to arrange things out there specifically. Like, if you wanted to do something like stack rocks in a specific way or something like that, you're welcome to do that as well.
I do. I make sure that it's clean, it's organized. I mean, there's going to be shiny things that need to be polished, I'm sure.
Yes.
So I'll just borrow a few rags and a small cup of water if needed, or whatever, vinegar if they have it. I'll head out and I'll just tidy it all up, spruce it up, shine it, make it gleam with the light.
There's in the center of it, there's probably a stone plinth that comes up to about eye level, where there's at an angle there's a very faceted yellow gem or piece of
Mhm.
glass that's mounted so that no matter what time of day it is, it's reflecting light back toward whoever's standing in front of it. So if you stand in front of it, as long as it's not nighttime, there will always be like light put in your face. So there's probably like what the locals would do is walk up and say a quick prayer and close their eyes and like have a moment of basking and then go on about their business.
You could still feel, even with your eyes closed, you still feel that reflection on your face, so that you
Yes.
know you're not alone.
That's probably not a general shrine arrangement back home where you're from, but it's still clearly a shrine of Pelor.
I will just, I'm not going to move anything. I'm just going to make sure that everything is nice and clean and polished and gleamy. Okay. Brilliant with the light. Yep, that's how I'll spend my time.
So Aldwin and Tali are sitting on a bench, staring at the wolf, whatever you're doing. Making it do tricks. I don't know. Aldwin's throwing his sword and the wolf's bringing it back. And after a little while, Famus walks up, returning to the church. Famus, you see these two kind of sitting there waiting.
I think I've brought a bag of apples.
That'll be 5 silver for a big bag, not a small bag.
How many coins, how many gold is in a silver?
There's 10 silver to 1 gold.
So we're doing the straight 10.
Yes.
Metric.
Thank God.
If we were in Dragonlance, there would be 4 currencies because there would be Electrum as well. No, 5 currencies. Copper, silver, Electrum, gold, platinum. But here there's no Electrum, so it's just metric D&D. 10 copper to 1 silver, 10 silver to 1 gold, 10 gold to 1 platinum.
Metric, the best trick.
Wrong. Imperial for life.
Oh,
It'd be like 56 gold to 1 platinum and like 3 copper to 1 silver, things like that. So Famish, you have a bag of apples, and you see these people waiting. Famish doesn't say anything. Talia, what would you?
No, hang on.
You've been waiting
Jesus
for him. What
Christ.
would you say?
So I'll probably walk up and sit on the bench and offer everyone an apple.
Does the wolf take an apple?
The wolf would not take an apple. He might take it. He would chew on it, but he wouldn't like actually eat it. He would just kind of use it as like a chew toy.
Probably just get
Kinda like-
water out of it, really.
Yeah, just like chew it to pieces.
Yeah.
And sugar.
Yeah. And vitamin C. So how do you feel about giving an apple to a big wolf, Famus?
Well, I'm a man of the land. I've encountered my fair shares of wolves in the past, probably.
But you haven't like befriended wolves. You
No,
mainly
but
hunt.
I probably don't hunt wolves because they're carnivores, so their meat isn't particularly good for eating. Their pelts might be good. Well, their pelts are probably very good, but there's probably a mutual respect. Or I have a respect for wolves.
Tali, was it winter or summer? What season was it back home before you came here?
Fall.
So the Colin is growing in his winter coat currently. So
Yeah,
he's
it
a
would
little
be-
bit shaggy.
Be getting like a little bit thick and
Yeah. So he appears even larger and more intimidating than normal.
yes.
So Tali, you were waiting on Famus. What do you have to say to him?
So I looked at Famus and I seem a little bit more comfortable finally being around somebody who seems a little bit more familiar with the outdoors.
Someone who's covered with dirt.
Yeah, somebody who doesn't look like they belong in a city. Doesn't necessarily look like they belong in a city. They look like I might meet them out where I'm more familiar. So I would look to Famus and just so. Do you know what happened? Where are we? What happened?
Well, I know what city we're in. I don't know where we are. I don't know where in the world we are. The gods around here, I don't recognise any of their names. I don't think. I don't know if I'm even in the same place as I was. They all speak. They all speak the common tongue. But yeah, we're in the. Like my notes again. We're in like a place called Castle Neros. Some sort of military. I believe it's a city. It could be a town. I'm not entirely sure. But there are lots of people and lots of buildings as far as the eye can see. I mean, it might be worth going up the tower and having a look and see if we can get a better viewpoint at some point, just to, you know, see how far this city stretches. Or town. Yet again, not sure. What about you, Paladin? Do you know if this is a city or a town?
If I had to guess, it would be a city.
But other than that, I don't know. I'll have to look at the stars to see where I am. Was last night cloudy, or was it?
That's what I was gonna just ask. Would we have been able to see the stars? Would I have been able to recognize that I wasn't anywhere near where I was before?
It was perfectly clear last night.
Okay, I didn't even look.
Tolly, the stars were completely unfamiliar.
So I would, last night I didn't recognize the sky at all.
Well, we could be on the southern hemisphere, but usually you're able to see Takaris or oh my god, what's the good god? Palantheus, is it? Is it Palantheus?
I don't remember all those Dragonlance gods.
I'll have to look later and get all the names and get it all written down.
Well, regardless, you didn't notice any of those constellations.
I mean, unless they're in the world, which happens when the gods walk among the men's, the constellations disappear from the sky. That happens in Dragonlance.
Yes. No one here is from Faerun, right?
No, I'm not from Faerun.
But how you pronounce that? Interesting.
Faerun or Faerun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's always Faerun.
Yeah.
You want me to say I'm from the Sword Coast to annoy you?
No, please, God, no. Please, Nemo, no. Please, no. No, please. I'm from Baldur's Gate. Get the hell out.
Candlekeep, actually.
I'm from Candlekeep. They were just under siege recently. Get the hell out. Play your video games.
I just refer to it as the deserves to be forgotten realms.
Ha!
Wow.
It's Paladine, isn't it? Yeah, it's Paladine. Who's the dragon, isn't he? He's the
Paladine?
Oh right.
Paladine.
Cut and paste it. Hang on.
Paladine, Paladine, everybody's in the line.
Sure. Paladine. I don't know. I would assume because it's a proper noun, you generally in a proper noun in English put the emphasis on the first syllable. Paladine, I think. I don't know. But no, you don't see him in the sky or anything like that. So it could be that you're still on Kryn and the gods have had a time of troubles and are all walking the earth.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know. If we're in a time of trouble situation, there's going to be a lot of other problems. magic stops working and gods having giant fights that wreck cities, that kind of thing.
So, what time's the meeting?
Midday is what you've all been told.
And where's the sun in the sky?
Let's see how cloudy it is right now. It is springtime, so
Also, I was in autumn as well.
it is very cloudy, but you're not sure that it's midday yet.
Well, I'm going to head up the tower and see if I can get a look over the town. And then after the meeting, I might go and try and find a library.
What tower are you referring to?
Well, if it's a cathedral, they've got towers, and they're generally higher than anything in the city. Usually, in medieval towns, yes. Obviously, modern day skyscrapers are like far taller than churches.
Well, most of the time. We have cities here in America where there's still giant churches bigger than cities.
Yep.
I'll be angry about that another time, but you could attempt to go up higher in the cathedral, but the cathedral's spires and buttresses are all kind of exterior, and there's not a lot of like interior rooms going up stories. The cathedral is not a bustling place full of like 100 monks and priests like a medieval church would be. It's a little bit toned down from that, but very sturdily built and large enough on the inside to house a lot of people if it needed to. But it's not like a great, huge, tall.
Well, if I can't get up anyway, if I can't get up onto a high vantage point, I'm just going to sit there, pull out a pipe, fill it with some smoke weed, and then have a smoke on my pipe.
There's workshops and stores along the market road that are like 4 and 5 stories high. You could try to go up one of those buildings.
Is there a building that sort of towers over every other building?
Not in your immediate vicinity. Not that you've seen here yet.
Well, I'll just wait. So what about you? How are you finding city life then? I assume you're a druid of the woods, of the forest.
I am. I need to get out of here. This place smells. The sounds are all wrong. There is no plant life outside of this little garden here. Nature does not exist in this place, and it is not natural.
Well, it's natural for the humans.
No. Humans take the natural away and
That's their nature.
create artificial.
Famus, you know from the marketplace, there's quite a lot of other races in town.
Mm-hmm.
Humans, half-elves, elves, gnomes, dwarves, goblins.
Yeah, but I am
half-orcs.
assuming this is probably a human city because of.
There's a lot of humans, but it's not a huge majority.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know. I don't know who built this. I don't know anything about this place, but that's my assumption.
You generally don't see the hallmarks of dwarven construction or elven construction or gnomish construction. So you would assume it's human built for the most part. Because, I mean, those races specifically build their homes and shops and workshops a specific way. This is not. These buildings you've seen along the market are not like that. Just to clarify.
Well, then I'm not. Well, yeah. So I assume this is a human settlement, but that's what they do. That's how they like to live. They don't live amongst nature.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean that I approve or like the way that they live. Beings that don't live in harmony with nature usually end up causing more problems than anything, I find.
Alduin, do you have opinions about that? They're kind of like shit talking you while you're sitting there.
I'm not shit talking anyone.
I can understand their point of view. We're not used to city life. We don't appreciate, I suppose, the opportunities that towns and cities give. Safety being one of them. But I wouldn't say that myself as a paladin, I'm like trying to destroy nature or anything.
Not directly,
You
though.
know, get all your
Indirect.
metal armor takes a lot of industry and pillaging the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean, I hate anything unholy. Was going to be dealing with a supposed lich problem before it got whisked away to here. I think we can have common ground.
Is this out of character or in character? I'm confused.
In character.
Are you saying this, or is this? Are you still answering Rooster?
Speak from Alduin's voice, J-Wall.
Okay, I'd like to think that we can find some common ground. There isn't all bad to be found in cities. And people such as myself and Varsha, we believe in a natural order of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Judging you.
So Paladin, so my name's Famis. I don't know any of your names.
Name's Aldwin.
I'm
Alduin.
Tali, and this is Callan. And I would, put a hand on my wolf.
Wolf is still chewing on the apple.
Making a fucking mess. Are people giving this wolf a wide berth because it's a wolf rather than an actual dog?
Well, where you're sitting, there's not that many people. But yeah, when people walk by, they're definitely not trying to stand next to the wolf. But nobody's like, oh my god, a wolf! Call the guards! There's no one doing that.
I'll offer my pipe if anyone wants a bit of this smoke weed.
Apologies, I don't partake.
Yeah, I would just shake my head.
Okay, go back to smoking it. Where are the other two? Where's the small fella and the priestess lady? Have you seen? Oh, priestess lady's probably cleaning the statue thing.
She's
Right.
probably like 75 feet away. So if you look around, you see her.
She's got like marigolds on and a thing around her head.
A maid's outfit, yeah, sure. A duster.
Using the prayer book to like brush the dust off with creating a gust of wind, just silliness and zaniness.
I think the monks would have given you like a bucket and some towels.
Of
or something.
course. I already said I was grabbing rags and vinegar and other things.
You don't need to use your prayer book to clean the shrine.
Yes, I'm not an evangelist. I don't go around. Have you heard the word?
So why do you think we were chosen to be brought here?
That is what I would like to know. I am not. I don't really lead a life where I'm known very much. I help out where I can in my home forest, but
And where is your home forest and what's it called? Well, I've stumped Tally. She's reboot.
I just figured I'll know when it's noontime, when it's time for the meeting. I'll just know. I figure.
Are
The
you
light
from a
right on the cusp.
Is any of these characters from any Pacific worlds, or are they just from made up
Any
worlds?
Pacific worlds like Maui or
Specific.
New
Sorry.
Zealand?
Sorry. Specific.
Okay. Well, that's
No,
up to each of you
kinda
to determine
similar.
what your origin is. I've given you the power to do that for yourself.
I'm from Forgotten Realms.
You
There
are?
go.
No.
Oh.
I almost kind of want to
But
be from.
we don't have to
Ravenloft.
decide the specifics now because
No.
Yeah.
I do not believe in claiming land, and so I do not name my home. It was just a beautiful
But people,
fire forest, and
but
now
others may have
want
named
to get
it.
back. I believe the people in my area called it the Red Forest.
I was going to suggest what a lot of cultures do that are not industrialized is they just call their area home in their language. And then over time, as their language change, the name remains. So the word for home becomes a new word, but the name for their place remains the archaic word home in their language. And they call themselves the people in their archaic tongue. So you might have a word like that where it's like an ancient word in Druidic for your forest, but no one would know what that is.
Well, in the fall, all the leaves go bright red, so everybody just calls it the Red Forest. That's what I'm sticking with.
So you're from Ontario.
Perfect.
So what?
Oh.
I mean, you said
Get some
it's-
pancakes. We got to put some syrup on them. Suckers.
I mean, how far into spring are we? Is it getting warm?
It's pretty warm, but it's not super hot yet.
So I'd
Like,
probably
you're not
start.
sweating
I'll
your ass.
probably like take off a few like layers of clothes
Sure.
because I'm probably wearing because it was full autumn where I was, so I'm probably dressed for fall conditions.
So Famus is comfortable with his body and starts undressing in front of both of you.
Well, no, I mean I'd take a jacket off. I'm not fucking like pulling my fucking shirt off.
I mean, I would probably just, no matter how, I would probably just shrug. Like, I live with nature, so I'm probably not very prudish or anything.
You probably think of clothes as like protection from the elements rather than covering yourself.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So you wear it if you need it for protection for something. If it's cold, we don't have fur anymore, so we have to make our own. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. What kind of clothes does Tally wear? And what armor?
So I'm wearing leather armor. My clothes are probably relatively light. I chose. I know I have my stuff somewhere. But I'm probably just wearing kind of like just a light tunic with I would have a cloak. I probably wouldn't be wearing it right now, but I would have it close because if it's that cloudy, maybe it might rain, just to keep the rain off. And loose trousers, nothing overly baggy, but nothing overly tight, just so I can move comfortably. Pretty much just enough to, I mean, I know that while I have no concerns with covering myself, I know that a lot of other people do, so I probably do so. If I feel like I might run into other people, I probably had situations in the past where I thought it wasn't a big deal and it turned out to be otherwise, so. Just kind of modestly dressed.
For narrative's sake, Aldwin, how are you dressed? What are you wearing? Just tell us how badly you clashed with these two.
I'm in full scale mail.
How shiny is it? 1 out of 10. Well, 1 to 10. I mean,
8.
okay, so bright as fuck.
He buffs it every day.
Hashtag
Very
metal man.
mentally. Yep. They call me Iron Man, where I'm from.
Right on. Right on.
Yep.
So the three of you are observing. You're watching your friend undress in front of you when
Do, 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 do.
Like, no full Monties.
all right, so a woman who's dressed in very priestly regalia approaches, and she regards the three of you and like nods as she walks up, and she says, "I'm Neshia. I'm on a gesh to come here to defeat the Agent of Darkness before he leads his wayward target into the shadowed place. Come with me, please." And she starts walking determinedly.
Sorry,
Confidently.
what? You're on a gash.
A gesh.
Oh.
Oh, I'll have to run to catch up.
It's Geas, gesh.
Is anyone getting the gnome, whatever his name is?
Believe
While
if
you're
it's
worrying about that, we should go to break.
Oh yeah, it is break time. All right. Right.
Break!
Right. So we'll be back shortly. On YouTube, obviously we'll be back in a moment. And then everyone else who's watching the main the stream, will be back with you in a moment with our thingy intermission. That's the one. Okay, and we're back.
Hello.
Back for the third hour.
During the break, we were discussing how we all want to take Jay Wall's dog from him
I don't.
and give it a better
Not
home.
me. You might.
haters.
I can't have a dog, period, here, but I would love to have a dog. Anyway, we left off with Neshia, the priestess who approached the church, and everyone started going in. And immediately, Famus started panicking because he wants to get everyone assembled.
Yep.
Vasha, you've seen the priestess approach and the rest of them go in.
Woo, I run. All my gear bulkily shaking. Yeah.
What kind of armor do you wear, Vasha?
Oh, I just have like a leather breastplate that I wear. Just leather. I'm not as strong from my very bookish, studious teenage years. Not that they were called teenage years, but doing a lot of reading and learning didn't leave enough time. So as much as I am, tough and pretty nimble, I'm not quite strong enough. At least not strong enough for what I would wish to be. So just have a simple leather, and I have the shield and the mace and plain cloud gray robes. Just that gray of when the sun shines on the cloud and the underside as the cloud goes by. Just that nice light gray. That's the clothing color of my level, being relatively new. And
Do your clothes give off like a priestess vibe or like a traveler vibe?
My clothing that I wear now is mostly traveling vibe, but you can tell that the way the hood is very tight fitting, and I don't always have it up because that's not a requirement of my questing battle life, but it's a very close fitted, almost looks like a nun's habit kind of hood that goes over top. And so when I have that up, that looks very priestish, nunnish like. So, but the rest of my clothing looks just like the cloak itself is just a traveling cloak. The dress is just a plain, very soft, light gray kind of dress. But you can see, there's a silver. It's a really just painted wood because I'm so low in rank in the church. but it's a little star symbol, and you can see that there's just little like impressions in the leather and stuff of little sun symbols and things like that. So there are little clues all over, but not from a distance you'd be able to automatically say, priestess!
But somebody from your home church would immediately recognize your...
Oh yeah, they recognize like the colors and the different symbols
Right.
and things, yes.
Bill Fizz, what are you doing when one of the watchmen from yesterday approaches you?
I'm walking out of what's his name's I'm never going to remember names. I'm terrible. Jazzy's little thing. Oh, hello, not shiny guard. How are you?
The watchman looks at you and not shine. Right. Okay. If you'd like to talk about what happened to you, come with us. We're going to have our meeting now.
Oh, wait. Are you arresting me? What
No.
did I do?
You are not in my custody or anyone's custody. We're trying to help you, not arrest you.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll follow you.
Unless you've done something wrong, and he leans his halberd towards you.
Well, there was this man in the market.
Oh, dear. You know what? Don't tell me about it. Save it. Just
Okay.
come. The watchman takes you into what was the mess hall for the morning, but now is clear of food items. So all the tables are occupied by Jasm the monk. The two watchmen from yesterday have come in behind Neshia, the priestess of Pelor, and the 5 of you. So there's 8, 9 people in this room now. When all of you assemble, Jasm is the first one talking to somebody, and he's saying, Neshia is on a mission here to track down this this assassin that you may have heard about in town. And she's explained to me that she believes this assassin has something to do with the person who abducted you all. And the 2 watchmen here, and one of the watchmen says, "Hi, I'm Bill. I've been assigned to this situation until it's resolved. And my partner will be reporting back after this meeting to probably increase patrols in the area where we believe the assassin is working." And he turns to Neshia, the priestess of Pelor, who is dressed in kind of shining colors and very clean. Although it's clear she's been traveling. She's not like perfectly clean. And she says, "I was working when an Archon came to me and placed you all. I believe this person has some plot for you, and we have to stop it. This plot will not end in light. It will end in dark." No one says anything. Everyone's terrified.
Why are we here? I just don't really understand why we're here. Why pick us?
It is possible that this person who abducted you has some reason to bring you here and some purpose that will end in darkness. It's my belief, and we have to stop them. I also believe this person is mixed up with other nefarious individuals, and this assassin who's working in the city could be this person or is attached to this person. Does anyone have any information about this assassin? Has anyone heard anything?
We can tell you what we think kidnapped us.
Sure.
And I show her my drawing on the parchment.
What is that?
Well, it seemed to look like a person, but underneath the robes, usually it was wearing robes or a big heavy cloak underneath. If it opened, you get your flash. It was like some sort of cube with spindly little legs, and turns out that the arms weren't really humanoid arms, and that's what was underneath. It's this cube thing on spindly legs. So it doesn't have feet, but it, of course, shoes to make it look like it would be. And if it's all bundled up and just walking, you wouldn't know. But this is what I saw before I charged after it through the door that was shining. And then suddenly I was in the middle of the night instead of the middle of the day, lost in the confusing alleyways. And Roberto, our gnome friend, he said that it was gelatinous and holding a spell book. And Aldwin, you had similar experience with this, and I mean,
I did.
yeah, like
Can you each describe this person who brought you here? I'm not familiar with this race.
well, for my part, there, and I just handed the parchment.
Ranger, what did you see?
Well, I didn't see him decloak.
Romulans decloaking off the port bow. What
Does it,
what did you see?
Does it look like the same one? Because he didn't remove a robe at all, so I didn't actually see under the robe.
No, I don't think you did see under the robe.
So what about so is a drawing, is it accurate to the face?
The face was very not clear to you, so you don't know.
What about the robes? Is it the same style of robe? Surely the robes were the things that I saw the most.
It was just a very bulky robe. It didn't have anything that was particularly identifying about it.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't get a good enough look to see what he looked like. He was just a bulky person in a robe.
And you, Knight of Heronius, what did you see?
Effectively the same as that drawing.
By what method did it bring you here, Knight? I suspect that you would be less vulnerable to methods of kidnapping others.
It walked through a doorway, and I followed it.
Right. And Wild Woman, what did you see?
I unfortunately did not see much. All I really know is that it was capable of brutally savage attacks, had unnatural speed, and really I didn't get to see too much aside from at a distance. I cornered it in a small hut, and before I even really got a good look, as soon as I crossed the doorway, I was brought here.
So it's possible that this weird looking person is the assassin, if he's capable of killing that bear in that cave. No, what did you see? What would bring a wizard here?
Well, you see,
What story is it this time?
what story is it this time? You see, I was helping this wizard out, and he had this book, and I really wanted the book to learn the spells from because it's an old ancient tome. And he was trying to teach me some basic alchemy, which I knew. He knew I knew, apparently. And, well, he caught me looking at the book when I tried to grab for it. He revealed himself to be a gelatinous cube, and I swam through him to this portal. And then I wound up with responsible pet owner and shiny guard Piggly Wiggly.
How did you survive swimming through a gelatinous cube?
Don't ask questions.
Okay.
Just accept it.
I don't know everything that wizards are capable of. I don't.
Underwater breathing is one of them. Or
Under
gelatinous.
acid breathing, sure, I guess.
I mean, look, it was fine. Look, I came out perfectly fine.
It was grape flavored. It was easy. Yeah.
So Jasm, what do you think? And Jasm the monk turns and he says, I don't see what links these people together, except that none of these people are just your typical citizen. These are all people capable of the unusual, but I don't see any other thing linking them together. However, the holy importance of traveling people is universal, and if this assassin, as this Archon told you, had a goal to take wayward targets into a dark place, that word wayward stands out to me. And then Nesha says, of course, he was speaking in Celestial. I'm translating. It's not exactly the word he used, but it's the word I translated. He says, yes. Well, it still makes sense. The holy importance of travelers is still universal, and I think that it makes sense that this assassin is the same person, or that he's working with assassins to find his targets. But if he's capable of magic powers and imbuing himself with great speed and killing mother bears, it's possible he's the assassin. I don't know for certain. However, I do know, in the way that a traveling monk knows, that this person will have camped out nearby to spy on you all so he doesn't lose you. And if he's been traveling a great deal to find you all and he's alone, it's possible he'll need resources before he can do whatever he needs to do with you all now that you're all in one place. However, as long as you're all in the church, I'm fairly certain you'll be safe from him, but the trap will never trigger, so to speak. He'll never resolve his mission until he has you all, so we need to find him before he finds you. Which I believe you're all capable of. You're all people with talents and skills.
Could we lure him out somehow? Set a trap for him while he's trying to trap us?
It's possible. Obviously, this city is a good place to do that kind of thing. This city's very fortified. However, he's capable of magical travel, so I mean, you could be standing in front of the army and it wouldn't be safe enough then.
When did... Am I muted?
You're not muted.
No.
Oh, okay, just making sure. When did everyone arrive? I arrived late last night.
Same.
Same.
Same as well.
What was if it's more than one?
Well, if this fellow is working with a team of assassins, or if there's more than one of these people and they're all identical, it's possible. But we have no evidence to support there's more than one of this.
Well, assassins generally
shaped
kill
fellow.
people than kidnap them.
Yes. But we do have these rumors of the assassin in the town are founded on the fact that people have been murdered as well as abducted, which is unusual for this place. There's generally not a lot of murders in the city. So something like that we know about immediately. Well, what do you all think? Could we arrange some sort of trap for this person when they come to abduct you again?
Well, if we leave the sanctuary of the church, surely it will think that it can attack us. So if we plan to all go somewhere and we all know what that destination is, and along the way it may be drawn out and then we can see. Then we'll drag it into the light and we'll make it talk and we will find out what this plan is. I, for one, have no problem being bait in a trap if need be. If it is Pelor's will that I am an instrument to bring this all to light, then I shall do it.
It's possible that if we were to capture this person and bring them into the church, we could compel them to send you all home. After this church is linked to people who are experts in travel magic and the like, and I think that if we all work together, we could make that happen. And of course, I'm compelled to do this by an Archon. I cannot stop. I have to resolve this. However, however, in my personal dealings, I've dealt with assassins working for the god Lolth, and I'm not. If I'm out in the open, someone will attack me. I'm a target. I have enemies. However, I could stay here at the church and assist.
So I think a lot of the questions that we have is where are we? Where exactly
This
are
is
we?
Castle Narrows.
Okay, we know that, but I mean, where in the world are we? Is there a map of the world? A globe?
We don't have any maps available, and there's no globes, so to speak, around.
What are the major kingdoms that are neighboring to the island?
So Jasm pipes in. He says, "Well, we have the Kingdom of Narrows. It has other neighbors in this land. On one side we have what we call the Wild Land, which is home to tribes of orcs. We're relatively friendly with them, but we don't have the same sort of civilization structure, so we don't interact a lot in our daily lives. And then we have a marshland on the other side of the kingdom, which is another nation of kind of republic. It's not a kingdom. And then south of the Kingdom of Narrows, there's a great mountainous region where other beings live, and we don't have any official political interaction with them. On other areas of this world, there are other nations, but Narrows is relatively small. We don't interact a great deal with the rest of the world. And then Neshia says, and of course, in other planes, you have other kingdoms, and Narrows doesn't really do a lot with other planes, but this is a place where other planes have interacted in the past. And Jasmine's just like, okay. And Neshia goes on and explains that in the distant past, there were divine wars fought here, not just wars between kingdoms, but wars between gods fought on this land. And of course, gods bring their armies from other planes, and there was a lot of planar travel involved in that. And Jasm's just like, Jasm is not a spellcaster. He doesn't deal a lot with other planes, so he out of his league. But Neshia explains that there are other planes, places where other people live, and other planets, other worlds.
Are we from one of those
Perfectly
other
feasible that
worlds?
all of you are from. It's probable that you are all from different, disparate worlds, masses of land in the stars. But why you were brought here, I'm not sure.
I can believe that.
And then Neshia says, and my home is not on this world. I was brought here. But if we set this trap, I believe that we could all work together and capture this person or persons. And if it is a team of individuals, then if we could capture one of them, then we could figure out what they're doing. One of the watchmen, Bill, says that I think that we could just do this in the marketplace. I'll bring in more guardsmen, and there will be lots of people around to see what happens. Sure, it might be dangerous, but there's really not much other option unless you leave the city, but then that you'd be more vulnerable outside of the city.
Well,
and the other watchman just says, yeah, I agree.
If it's been watching us for a while, or they've been watching us for a while, perhaps they're watching us right now.
I don't believe that they have the capability to enter the church unseen, says Jasm.
Alduin, was you in a church when you got transported here?
I was, yes.
So,
and Vasha was at a church also.
Yes. And then I was told to go and deal with this agent of Nerul, which we thought was some skeleton threatening the people outside of the church. And so that's when I pursued it. So, come to think of it, when I was summoned after returning from healing duties, there was a bulky robed figure there inside the church. All right. Very importantly, everyone, cloaks, robes, open, open, open.
Jasmine
now.
pulls open his monk's robe. He's just wearing a loincloth.
Flesh. Okay, good. None of us are the thing.
The watchmen are like
Thank you.
unbuckling their breastplates and
No, what? It's hold on. It's fine. Just roll up your sleeves. You have real legs, not spindles, not little sticks. I nudge one in the leg. Just kind of little gentle toe kick. Just things like that. Okay, just ensuring. What does Nishia do when I'm ranting about all this and
she's going to
poking my flab and showing all these things?
Neshia is wearing
Clothes.
what is she wearing? She's wearing nothing because I can't find it. Oh dear.
Oh.
She's a bright shining
Is
priestess.
she one of them?
No, she's not one of them.
Okay.
Uh
you
she's
say that
wearing
with a don't be ridiculous sneer.
she's wearing a cloak, but it's open and
Okay.
she's not wearing any armor. She's wearing clothes.
Her hands look like real hands. Her face looks like a real face.
And she has a shield on her back and a mace and so forth. She just,
Well-
I guess, has her cloak open and she starts like pulling up her
Well-
sleeve. So forth.
You said that there's been murders or assassinations here.
Yes, says Bill.
When was the last one, Bill?
Yesterday.
When was yesterday? So maybe we could start there.
Yes. There was an assassination in a warehouse. We had investigated the area, but our lieutenant had decided to scour the area and try to find the person as they fled. So I don't know how long how well the investigation has gone of the warehouse, but that's the thing we could do. We could go there and look around. I have my partner and I have the dispensation to help you with whatever would advance this to a conclusion. So I could go with you. Before we do that, I believe that if we go to the warehouse, that would be very dangerous.
Why?
Just the extremity of the murder. I believe that if the assassin is near there, that person would be very dangerous. If this other person is not, if it's possible there's more than one of them, and the person who abducted you is not the assassin, then they're going to be easier to abduct than someone who's capable of great murder. So I personally think that we should try to set a trap elsewhere, but we could go to the warehouse. And Jasmine says, if we go to this warehouse, as long as you're all working together, I'm confident that you all would be fine. And if any of you were wounded or anything happened, you could come back here and Neshia could help you. And
I can help as well along the way. Not to worry.
Surely. Neshia says, whatever happens to you, I have a divine quest to make sure that you're sent back home or taken care of. So I will try to help.
What if I don't want to go home?
So everyone stops and
Welcome,
Neshia looks at you and
watchers
says,
of
where would you like to go?
Here's a dungeon dose of genuine
That was just the
adventuring.
question.
Jasmine says, I believe you and I have more conversations to have, Gnome. But a traveler such as you needs more protection than someone who has a home.
This is true.
Oh God, I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Oh yeah.
So we could go to the marketplace and try to draw them out. If some of you stay out in the open for a while, then maybe the agent, the person, the kidnapper will make a move. Or we can go to this warehouse. Is there any opinions?
Well, investigating for clues, maybe being able to sense traces of magic. That's better than standing in a marketplace saying, hello, come stab me, which we can do, But if nothing happens within a few minutes, I say we
if
just.
if we go to the warehouse, if this assassin dropped anything, Callan might be able to track him by
Yes.
scent.
Well, Wolf does have a good sense of smell, an amazing nose. Yes, yes.
He's tracked for me well.
Ooh, what a brilliant idea.
Yeah, but will his nose be any good in a city environment with all sorts of smells?
When we
I'm-
first came in here, we were still able to track something before it disappeared. So
I mean, she is a responsible pet owner. I feel like it's at least trained a little bit.
Just saying, it's just it will maybe prove more difficult.
there are smells everywhere. Just because the smells are different doesn't mean
It's worth
I'll
the
be able to track
attempt.
I
mean-
think he would be able to.
Well, maybe there might be some clues at this warehouse that was overlooked.
I
Jasmine
mean,
says,
we did come out by a door, and I did want to see what was behind it. It could have been a portal back.
when each of you came to, you just making sure the facts are straight. When each of you came to, you were in alleys and near doors, back doors of buildings. When you came to, it wasn't like when you walked through the door and were captured. You weren't completely conscious and cognizant the entire time. It was like you blacked out. And then when you came to, you were just there in that alley. So there could have been a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes in between. But each of you was near a back door to a building. Different buildings, but still.
Or one building with many back doors.
It's possible you're all just in a circle around the same building. It's possible.
That's all back doors and no other.
But there were definitely doors involved in all of your situations.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to say, obviously doors are the key. Something about building a portal through an existing constructed doorway, and then it glows, and you step through it, and then when you suddenly come back to your senses, you are not where you were. The time of day is different. The location is different. The world is different.
James, I believe you had a unique observation about the door thing last time. Do you remember?
Bright light.
Other than that,
I just remember the bright light.
you dodged, remember?
What? And it missed me.
Yes. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember I dodged, but I don't remember any important details about it.
This person had thrown a shining object,
Oh,
seemingly
okay.
at Famus, but Famus dodged, ended up in that doorway, and the doorway lit up as the object met the doorway. I believe some others of you observed a similar thing of object connected to the doorway that the figure threw. So it isn't like a doorway is just a magic portal on its own. The figure had activated it, used this power in a way that's observable.
Okay. Well, when I encountered it in a tavern, the thing, I don't know what it is, but it threw a small shiny object at me. I dodged back through the doorway, and as it met the threshold of the doorway, that's when the doorway glowed, and the object disappeared.
Nesha says that sounds like world travel to me. So you'll all avoid being around the figure and a door, unless he's sending you home.
I mean, what's the chances of could we catch it before it hit the doorway?
That would be very dangerous. You don't know where he would send you next if you didn't succeed.
Yeah, but we've got to go through the doorway to do that. If you don't go through the doorway, you don't get moved.
So it sounds like we still have to decide. Are we going to go out in the open and hope that one of these people makes their move? Or do we go to the warehouse and search for the person there? Or clues?
Well, just yeah, we could go there and search for clues. Who was killed?
Warehouse.
I don't know the details of who it was, says Bill, the guardsman.
Doesn't matter. Let's go.
I
Let's
think
go.
it's better to go to the warehouse. Better to be the hunter
Yes.
than the hunted.
Ooh.
Is there anyone else who wants to go to the marketplace, or is everyone in agreement?
I'm good. Let's follow. I need to see what's in this warehouse. See if I'm able to detect any lingering magic.
Was there any? Who's the? I've been modern. Sorry.
Are you going to read somebody their Miranda rights next? What are you going to what?
I was going to ask who's the lead investigator, but medieval times they probably don't investigate. Yeah, he's been murdered with a knife.
Cadfile the monk
Yeah,
at
good
Shrewsbury. He's the lead investigator. Do we? Well, maybe it'll be Neshia.
Neshia's not going to go to the warehouse because she believes that if this assassin is working for Lolth or any of the gods of darkness, she would be killed. Because
Okay.
she's a massive target for
I've never
someone
heard
like
of
that.
any of these gods, by the way. I have no idea who these are.
Are you going to like ask Neshia to list off all the gods of
Well,
time? She would go on
No.
forever.
No, but I'm just.
I will teach you about the gods of some places. Let's go. Bill will be our lead investigator. He's the guard.
So Bill will take you there, and Jasm is going to organize at the church to make sure that everyone involved in the church is watching for these figures.
Check them all to make sure they're not cubes under their robes.
They're also going to listen for rumors about worshippers of all these other gods that have been Nerul, Lolth, etc. And I suppose Ouijas. And Ouijas, that's how you have to say it, right?
Ouijas.
And
Ouijas.
Nessia will stay at the church and have her healing items and things ready because she's expecting you all to have a fight at the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And the other guardsman is going to go report back with the other guards, and they're going to set up more patrols around that warehouse and try to hide in case the assassin returns there. So everyone sounds like they have a plan. Bill says, Tolly, right? Is that your name? You're muted.
Ollie, yes, that's my name.
Walk beside me with your friend there, and if your friend senses anything strange, then we'll know right off.
I would.
And then the rest of you stay close.
Absolutely.
So this is a situation where I believe the paladin would have an opinion on how to walk as a vulnerable group of people in a tactical manner. What we would call the marching order. Aldwin, do you have an opinion about this?
So who was going with us again, sorry? Is it just us five, Bill?
It's just the five of you and Bill.
Okay. So you'd want to put the vulnerable people behind, but I'd say everyone here is fairly capable. But
You haven't
I
like
would-
sparred yet, so you don't know for sure how everyone fights.
I
Don't
mean,
hit me.
I'm not sure about Billy the Fizz. He could be a bit. I already know he's a bit schizophrenic.
Roberto?
Yes, Roberto.
Yeah, you don't know Bill Fizz's name. It's Roberto.
Okay.
Wilburito.
So Roberto, a bit schizophrenic. Can't be too sure.
What's a schizophrenic?
I'm just thinking this to myself. He doesn't hear
Oh,
this.
okay.
Hmm.
I cast telepathy. I mean telekinesis. I mean fire. Ball.
I could imagine that you would cast just out of character, I can imagine you would cast Fireball and you would say telekinesis. I can imagine that's something your character would try to do.
Do illusionists have access to the evocation spells? I didn't
Yep.
think of it. Oh,
I dropped transmutation and necromancy,
okay.
which I don't like 5e anymore.
Why is that?
More because I learned they took that out. Like, it just costs you double the amount to learn all the spells, and I'm like, that's stupid.
Well, it used to be that the illusionist couldn't do anything that was super offensive, so
Yeah,
great,
I mean,
3.5.
yeah, 3.5 best 5.
Well, so we're going to skip ahead through walking through the city, and you arrive at the warehouse where Bill points out before going in the door of the warehouse that the person who was murdered just inside the door. He has not personally been to this crime scene and investigated this, but he knows some of the details. And he says, I suppose we should all stay away from the door as much as possible, but we do have to walk in. So once we're all in, let's not linger next to the doorway, despite the fact that the murder happened just inside the door. Does that sound clear?
Yes.
I'm going to look at the small wizard,
Billy the Fizz.
whatever his name is, Roberto. Roberto,
What?
You're a wizard of sorts, aren't you?
Depends on who's asking.
I'm asking.
Okay, then maybe.
Can you detect residue magic?
I literally said that, didn't I?
Don't know, I weren't listening.
Well, that's your own fault then.
Well, maybe you could see if there's any lingering magic on the doorway. If it's near a doorway, perhaps they were also abducted and dropped, and then they murdered them here.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let me just. I get up to the door and I touch it. Oh God. Oh, Bill, we're gonna have a problem here.
Does anyone with ranks in spellcraft want to roll something to determine if he's actually casting a spell right now? You would have to roll a major bluff to get past people with spellcraft to fake casting a spell. You're muted, Lauren.
Sorry, I muted because cat.
Meow.
Meow. Wow. More like it, but
Does anyone want to roll spellcraft?
15. Woo.
Bill Fizz, do you have ranks in bluff? Are you capable of bluffing?
Do I have skills in bluff? No, I do not. I'll cast my once a day ghost sound.
Oh, great.
Oh, Bill and a male edgy person. I'm stuck here now. It's been trapped.
What does the ghost sound say, or what does it sound like?
You've been tricked.
You've been tricked.
Yes.
Any particular voice?
Just like you said it.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes.
Vasha, you know he casted ghost sound just now.
Oh. Roberto?
Yes.
Now, I don't mean to tell you how to wizard because you are the wizardly wizard. But that definitely wasn't detecting magic.
I cast. Look, I'm the wizard here. I know what spell I just casted.
Yes, but I know.
Look, I'm stuck
Is
here
the doorway
because
glowing? Is the
So
doorway glowing?
Can I just like step up, shaking my head now that Barbaro has been called out, and just cast detect magic myself?
Yeah, sure.
Because I haven't prepared, so
Why don't you walk us and the audience through the what it does?
Okay. 1 second. I'm just looking for it in my.
Those of you at home should know that a lot of the resources for 3rd edition D&D are available free online because of the way the game was licensed out. So you could go to an SRD site such as d20srd.org, where things like creatures and classes and spells are all free to read without owning the book. Which is where I'm typing in to search
Okay,
for detect
here we
magic.
go. So, detect magic. You detect magical auras. The amount of information revealed depends on how long you study a particular area or subject. And it ranges from just detecting the presence or absence all the way up to being able to determine strength and location, as well as school of magic and a bunch of other stuff about it.
Filth is about as useful as a inflatable dartboard.
Excuse me. Maybe I'm just, being my character. And saving my detect magic for when I really need it. And not when some jackass ranger asks me for it.
Not a ranger, I'm a hunter.
Whatever.
Now.
So-
Like, we are all in this together, and we should stick together and not fight amongst ourselves. That's exactly what an assassin would want.
As you're all arguing, Tali is concentrating because this takes several rounds.
Oh, I didn't realize that was in character, James.
It wasn't in character,
Oh, okay.
because I don't know if dartboards have been invented yet.
Sure, there's
inflate-
dartboards.
Or
No,
inflatable dartboards, or anything inflatable. So I'm not sure if latex has been invented.
well, you don't know about those materials, but you know about dartboards. Tali, after, I don't know, 12, 18 seconds of these people arguing next to you, which is very distracting and irritating, you can tell this door has a lingering aura of a travel spell. This door is probably used in one of these transportations. There's also an aura inside the door of something else, some other type of aura. It's lingering. It's not an active spell.
Okay, so it looks like this door was possibly used in the same manner that brought us here. And there's more inside as well.
Yeah, see, I knew that. I totally knew that.
Is it glowing right now?
No.
Then it should be safe to go through.
Bill says, unless the fellow's on the other side of the door right now.
I'm going to walk round the perimeter of the warehouse and see if there's another entrance.
Someone go with him. Don't let him walk off alone. Aldwin, why are you raising your hand?
Can I detect evil?
Sure. Tell us and the audience how that works.
So, I grab my holy object, I hold it like this, close my eyes, and kind of channel on the area, trying to detect any evil presences.
And now walk us through the function of this spell.
Function of the spell is to detect evil.
Details, sir. Details.
I can sense the presence of evil. The amount of information revealed depends on how long I study a particular area or object.
Mm-hmm.
That is all I have written down for it.
Are you going to concentrate for a while?
Yeah, until I can determine well enough if there's any evil presence.
Does anyone go with Famus, or do you let him go off alone?
I'll go.
Okay. Famus, Vasha comes trotting up. next to you as you're circling the building.
No one goes off alone. We stick together. We survive together. The sun is a multitude of rays, not just a single beam. That is how it gives its strength to the world, and that is how we will survive.
Can I get a spot check from Famus?
Certainly. $19.
See a blood trail. And that's where we'll take a break.
Oh,
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. Right, so we'll be back shortly. Right, hello everyone, and people are dancing for some reason.
Transition dance.
Okay.
DM said to dance. I danced. I don't know.
I only
James,
dance
when I
on
say
me.
jump, you ask how high. Listen here, boy.
Whatever.
What, J-Wall, what are you doing?
Inflating something.
Yeah, find out.
A dartboard.
Good.
The
Apparently.
inflatable dartboard, yeah.
We had a spell going on at the door. What was that spell? J-Wall?
Go.
There was detect evil at the door
Yes.
and a blood trail in the alley.
Yep.
So he has to focus on that for a few rounds. In the meantime, those of you that are paying attention can see that this warehouse keeps lots of crates of what appear to be jugs of water and flasks of oil, lantern oil, that kind of thing. Lots of liquids in crates, and they're alongside the outside of the warehouse. So you're assuming that this business works in that kind of thing. So the interior is going to be full of the same kind of stuff. Now, if there's crates of flasks of oil, then you know this building is going to be extremely vulnerable to fiery situations. So Bill has a lantern that's not lit at the moment, but when you go in, I mean, you're going to be inside a building and without electricity, so he's going to be having to light the lantern. But it seems obvious that you don't want to ignite the building if you can help it. Now, J-Wall, after a couple of rounds, you can sense that in the inside of this building, just beyond the door, there is a lingering aura of power. Aura power is a numeric figure in this system, so I guess like a 15. What that translates to is there was an evil act performed by an evil person. But there isn't like he didn't like blemish the land under his feet with some lasting evil. It's relatively simple and straightforward. So J-Wall, how would you describe that to other people?
So I get done channeling. I'm a little lightheaded after that. And so I say that I detect that an evil act was performed here, but the area seems safe now.
Do you draw your sword? Are you on the ready, or do you feel safe right now?
As a precaution, I draw my sword, but I think it is relatively safe.
Okay. Famus, when you see the blood trail, do you say anything to Vasha, who has not noticed it? Wake up, James.
Sorry?
When you see the blood trail, do you say anything to Vasha?
Yes, obviously. I say, stop. There's blood here. Maybe it's best if we get Tully and her wolf.
Oh. Okay.
So,
Sorry.
Tally, you're standing in front of the door where all this magic has happened, and Bill has just opened the door. And on the inside, you can see a big pool of blood just inside the door. And then you hear Vasha calling from around the corner.
I don't want to leave Famous, but to run back and say. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just walk a little bit. Is there a place where they can both see me at the same time?
Sure, you can walk to the corner of the warehouse.
Okay, I walk to the corner of the warehouse because I want to keep an eye on everybody because I'm the mom, apparently.
I'll pull my bowl. I pull the bowl out. No, I pull my bow out.
And then you fill it with soup, and then you eat some soup.
I notch an arrow, and I go, I'll be all right.
All right.
Meow.
Okay, I go back to report. We found the blood trail. Famous has discovered the blood trail in the alley. We think it might be a good idea if a keener nose helps investigate. Unless we all want to go inside, should I bring Famous back, or should we follow this trail?
Let's follow the trail.
Okay.
Bill says, I'd like to go inside and take a look before we leave.
Ugh.
But I will come along if you all want to go elsewhere. Clues could be anywhere.
I'm going to search.
So Bill Fizz is going to stay here
Yes. I don't
while the
wanna
rest of you leave.
Okay, I'll shout up to Famous saying, wait, come back.
Bill says, Gnome, I'd rather that we didn't split up. Why don't we all stay together for the moment?
We all know splitting the party leads to doom. Stick together.
Okay, so I'll head back to the main group and go, I'll look in the doorway, I'll probably see the blood, and I'll go, well, maybe it's worth checking if that's the same blood as that's down the alley.
Yes, I agree, says Bill. Is anyone here an expert in blood? I'm certainly no butcher.
I have. Perhaps I could. Callan could see if it smells the same.
I can lick it.
No, I advise that you don't lick it. As a trained healer, no, don't do that.
So Bill goes
blood
back
makes
inside
awesome.
and he has the lantern. He's looking at the blood, and he indicates that you all could examine the blood if you want.
Okay, I can give it a sniff. Does it smell irony? Does it smell a bit like cheese because it's from something rotten and corrupted?
To you, it's just day old blood.
It's just day old blood. I don't smell anything unusual about it. Just day old ironish blood, the same that would be on an old bandage.
Right.
Okay.
Tally, do you escort Colin in to sniff the pool?
Yeah, so we both go in, and I kneel down next to the blood pool with Callan and examine the blood.
Who is going to stay near the door to watch the door?
I will watch the door with my bow, with an arrow.
In a moment, James, I will ask you to roll spot, so have that ready, but not just now.
Okay, so I need. Okay.
Aldwin, what are you doing at this moment?
At the door.
You're just at the door with Famous.
Yep.
And Bill Fizz, what about you? Are
Not
you licking
shiny.
the blood pool?
No, not shiny guard. I think somebody was stabbed here and they walked away. This is just my detective work so far as I wander down the blood trail.
Oh dear.
I cast dancing lights. Yeah.
Okay, that lasts for about a round, I think.
Does it? No, I thought dancing lights the one I think it is. Let me see.
Oh, dancing lights lasts for 1 minute.
Oh, never mind then. Wrong one. I don't know why. 1 minute. Yeah. Oh yeah, they don't last very long. Up to a minute. Never mind. I follow the trail.
Would you like to roll search?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay. Would anyone like to help him? As in this system, if you aid another with their task, you'll give them +2.
Well, I'm standing watch.
I'm
examining
sniffing
the blood.
bloodstain.
Yeah, I'm examining the blood.
9.
You ain't found shit.
Look, I feel like it goes off in this direction, go off clearly the completely opposite direction. I'll just start over here. That makes sense. We gotta make cover the full area, Bill, Bob, Billy, Bob.
I'm not going to roll for the wolf because the wolf is super high skilled at this exact sort of thing. Colin indicates that there's multiple people's blood, and so he's going around the area and like going to each like blood spot and the blood pool, and like these are all different. Like a bunch of people were here,
Oh.
but one person clearly got the shit murdered out of them.
Jeff is dead.
Rest in peace, whoever that is.
Rip whoever that is.
Tally, do you tell the rest of the group about this?
Yeah, so it looks like Callan has found signs of multiple people here. There's blood from several people here.
How many bodies were found?
Bill says there was only one murder that we know about. We didn't.
So there was a fight and a body left behind.
Looks like it.
I'm going to start looking. Is it just more water and oil inside?
Yeah, there's lots of crates that have gaps in the side so you can see the contents, and it's just jugs of water, and then some crates have jugs of oil.
Anything written on them?
Not really. Some of the jugs have like danger lantern oil written on them, but that's about it.
Oh, that's good.
No symbols, no dates, no cities, no locations, no instructions, no nothing.
No, the Industrial Revolution hasn't hit, so there's not that level of bureaucracy.
Okay. So no one's written on them, no one's done anything, and that's our balconies, rafters.
The warehouse does have a second level, and then there's an office, but none of the blood is on the second level or near the office.
Well, maybe.
What if it was
Maybe
a
we
group of them and they all had a fucking disagreement?
Bill says, are you suggesting that these assassins killed one of their own?
Maybe.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not an assassin. I don't know how well they get along.
Well, usually they're independent.
Well, Famis, if you found a blood trail outside, one of the wounded people may have then escaped.
Maybe.
So if there was a confrontation, they fought, injured each other, one was murdered or killed in the fight, the other ran off, maybe then we follow that trail you found?
So, James, make that spot check.
17.
All right. While you've been at the door, after they spent a few minutes looking around, you know, you're pretty certain that the blood trail you found is a different color entirely from the blood that's in the pool. Like a different race of person.
All right.
You know that not very many races have different colored blood. Most people have red blood.
And what color was this blood?
This was like really dark, like purple.
Okay.
Wasn't bubblegum pink Klingon?
No.
Okay.
Or green, not Spock either.
No. Okay.
Rest in peace, Spock. So, James, do you say that, or do you just stare at the blood?
Well, I'm watching out. I'm not looking at the blood. I'm just looking out because I'm keeping watch of the door. I'm not actually looking into the room.
Well, Tally had just suggested that we go and look outside.
Well, the blood... Okay, I'll look in. See the blood. Well, that's a different colour blood to what's outside.
I look to see if so I would look and see if like there's anything else that dropped, like anything else that doesn't belong in the warehouse aside from piles of blood everywhere.
You could roll a search for me and take a +2 from assistance from the wolf.
So this is with a +2.
You find 30 copper pieces that are littered around as if someone had their purse opened while they were fighting. You can pick them up if you want or leave them.
I was gonna say, can I take the? I'm gonna take the money.
It's unnatural.
So Bill says if there's nothing else, then I guess Tally's right. We should follow the blood trail.
We should.
Unless anyone has any other things they want to do here.
Nope, we should go.
All right, Bill goes outside and leads around the corner. And then he says, so Femis, where does the trail lead?
Well, that's
And the
why-
wolf, as you're walking outside, the wolf automatically, like, blood trail just immediately, like, sets off full speed.
Where the wolf's going.
So Femis, as you're, like, about to say something, the wolf just goes past you.
That's right. Well, like I said, I'll go where the wolf is going, I assume.
Right on. Is anyone going to stop or slow down, or is everyone going to follow the wolf?
Wait, the wolf's gone? Oh god! Follow the wolf.
Every
I'm
time
gonna-
you separate from the group, I have to know explicitly how that happened.
Wait, me?
Yeah, I
Oh.
follow Callan. I'm
I was clearly following the blood trail.
Okay.
We keep up. Keep up.
So the wolf goes around a couple of buildings, and
I'm gonna check that we're not being followed. By the way,
so you're
You're
going to go
being
to the
followed
back.
by a gnome. Because I'm going to trail 100% of the time.
well, I'll keep. I'll trail with the gnome, but I'll keep watch to make sure we're not being followed. And I'll check
So
rooftops.
James, you can-
I will look
to that
up
end-
as well.
To that end, you say, I'm going to be at the back of the group in the marching order, and I'd like to roll a spot check.
Okay, I'm at the back of the group, and I'd like to roll a spot check.
Go ahead.
16.
As you leave the warehouse, you hear some voices of some gruff-sounding men who sound sort of aggressive, but you're not sure that they were at the warehouse or just at a nearby building. But and you see some of them walking like a couple of buildings away, but you're not sure that they're connected to anything you're doing.
Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on them. Well, I'll check to see if they're following us in a little bit. So,
Okay.
like after a few minutes, I'll check to see if they're still coming.
So the wolf ends up at the side of a building where there's a basement. This looks like a workshop that's not occupied right now. And the basement door is not locked or anything. It's just a plain wooden door leading down under this building. And that's where the wolf stops and sits down.
Oh, it's a cadaver dog.
search around the door.
Would anyone like to assist her search roll?
Okay, I will.
I'm watching behind.
So
The fully legged people can help. I'm catching my breath.
Fully legged people.
Yes.
Tally can make the search roll with a +2. We're simplifying the aid another action. Normally you have to roll against a small DC in order to adequately help somebody.
That's with +2.
15. All right. So you can tell that this door has been used recently, whereas this building looks like it's not occupied. And it's been used a lot. Like the dirt around the door it shows that when the doors are opened, it displaces some of the dirt and it has clearly done that a lot.
Are we still being followed?
James, you can roll a listen check.
Five. I don't
Nope,
hear
you
shit.
don't know. You just hear Tally and the wolf like looking around.
How does that
Can I-
sound? How does looking around sound? So I don't,
Just moving,
'cause I
touching
don't,
things.
I don't imagine eyes making noise.
Can I listen at the door to see if I hear anything inside?
Do you indicate to everyone to like be silent while you do that?
Yeah, so I ask everyone if you guys want to be quiet, I can try and see if I hear anybody inside.
Bill leans in with the lantern that he lit a minute ago, even though it's not dark outside right now, and he's listening. But you can roll the listen check. Your ears
Back to my
explode
big
off of your
balls.
head. You can hear there's a bunch of noise inside, like someone actively like moving a bunch of stuff around.
So I tell, there's a lot of activity down there. If we want to go in, we may need to be careful.
Bill says, "Do we go in and just get whoever it is? What's the plan?"
I don't. Aldwin, you're well trained in the arts of war. What would you? I mean,
Breach the door.
breach. If we go in, would you go first? Maybe Bill follow, and then a wolf is definitely a good intimidation factor.
Yeah,
and
because
then
an inflatable mallet's really going to be very intimidating.
This is
I mean, if
very
we-
intimidating.
Super intimidating.
I say we smash the door down.
You can just open it. There's no lock. I do it anyway. Smash.
Yeah.
kick it in to startle and charge in. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Bill indicates that he would like to open the door, and then Aldwin can charge in, and then the rest of you can do whatever.
I'll follow. I don't mind.
What is it,
Mace and
James?
shi-
I've got a
Mace and
question.
shield at the ready.
You know there's an initiative tracker built in, don't you?
We talked about this last time. We're doing this kind of basic and simple for a reason. And so when we roll initiative, I'm just going to type into this field here.
Which you can do on the basic initiative tracker. Just saying.
I'm going to do it this way. And
really
you can
easy.
be mad about it.
It's just, okay, sure. But it's really easy to do with, like, the initiative tracker. You can just type everyone's name in. And then you can just put the numbers in. And it will automatically sort them out.
To do that, you need to have tokens set up.
No, you don't.
Walk me through it,
No.
James. If you're going to be so upset about this, walk me through it.
Okay, I've got to remember
Let's
how to
take
do
20
it.
minutes to figure this out.
So have you opened it?
No, I
You
haven't.
click-
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I haven't got the bar because I'm not the GM, but if you look down the left-hand side of the bar, there is a initiative counter. If you click it,
I don't have that.
you should do. You're the GM.
Nope.
All right, do it your way.
Thank you. Okay, I would like to have initiative rolls, but not yet. I want everyone to just be prepared for it, because until we actually start a fight, we're in what we call the surprise round, where everyone just gets to act until the round is over and everyone's taken an action, and then we roll initiative. So effectively, if you surprise this person successfully, you'll get a free action before we have to roll initiative. So that means marching order is what matters. So Aldwin,
Yeah.
Bill's going to throw open the door, and then you're going to run in. Yeah?
Mhm.
Bill throws open the door. You just karate chop the air.
Yep.
Aldwin, when you run in, you go down a few stairs, and you're in a pretty dark room, and there's a person standing there, a person in a cloak, who is moving a bunch of stuff around on a table and has a box next to them. They're moving a bunch of things around as well, and there's a big bag, and they're shuffling a bunch of stuff around when they turn and just notice you charging at them. How do you, what do you do to them?
Can I see it all what they are shuffling around?
Roll a spot check. This person appears to be a drow elf, heavily armed.
Okay.
For Narnia! Slash.
Is it the best route though?
It's up to you, man. You have the first action, so you have to make the call.
I'll swing at him.
All right. Make your attack roll if you remember how.
Do I get any bonuses?
You'll have.
He'd be flat-footed, maybe.
Yeah, he's flat-footed, but that doesn't mean a bonus for you. That means a negative for him.
Just bonus for him.
Flanking bonus?
No, you're not flanking.
Not a power attack. I assume no additional attack bonus.
No.
No power attack bonus. No additional damage bonus.
No. You failed to hit the person. It's dark down here, and you can't quite see. What's your weapon? What is it like when you swing and miss?
So I've got long sword, and I swing and it just goes through the air. I wasn't quite close enough.
Who comes in just
Misjudged.
behind Aldwin?
I do.
So you see this person, and they're rummaging around. And you see
Okay.
Aldwin take a swing and miss.
I'm going to try and step up the side, and I'll take a swing as well.
All right.
Run it in.
Let's see that attack.
Okay. Ba-ba-do-ba-do. Switch to the window. Weapons. Heavy mace. There are a lot of different buttons. I just hit that one, I think. Submit. Submit.
No, you just did damage.
That's the first one.
On these roll 20 sheets for the audience, there's 3 dice on your attack, so sometimes it's difficult to know which one you're supposed to click.
Which one am I supposed to? I just hit the wrong one? I thought it just clicked.
The D20 button on the left.
Oh, weapon
I
attack
believe.
1. Submit. There.
Right on.
Boom.
Yes. After the battle.
It's a critical.
Just take
That
that
is
mace,
a-
that nice Rick's action, and you just
Yep.
fling it right into the base of his skull.
That is a critical hit, and we're not going to do a critical confirmation yet because this is
Why
simplified.
are we attacking? We don't know he's
Because
done
it's this
anything.
dark drow elf thingy thing.
Because
are
Aldwin made the
bad
call.
Aldwin made the call to attack. Palor is a god of light. Loth is a god of darkness. So naturally, the cleric would want to end it.
Yes.
So
Bad
there's your
dark
justification.
kill.
I did not tell Jay Wall that he had to take a swing, but he took a swing.
That's true.
He took a swing.
If
I've
you
got
want to be
support my
upset
team.
about this, be upset at him.
And if we knock it out and injure it, I can heal it back up, whatever it is afterwards. Don't worry, we'll be fine.
I cast Spare the Dying. Wait, that's not this character.
Right. You've clearly bashed the shit out of this guy. He looks very surprised as you're like ramming your mace into his side. Who comes in after Vasha?
I'll go in next.
All right. Would you like to go first, or would you like the wolf to do something?
Well, I'm going to cast Magic Fang on my wolf.
Let me pull that up.
So it gives him. So I would touch him on the head, and I would say, Nararuna, Callan, and then let go. So you can go in and kill it.
So Magic Fang works for 1 minute and gives the wolf +1 on attack and damage rolls. So would you like the wolf to charge in and take a bite?
Yes.
All right. I'll make that roll, I guess. Here comes the bite. Ta-da. Oh no. The wolf goes in, but doesn't quite get a good bite on this guy with the other two people in the way. But the wolf does seem very inclined to attack this person. There's no resistance to the attack order or anything like that. Bill Fizz or Famus? Who's next?
Famus was guarding us.
Welcome,
So,
watchers of illusion.
Bill Fizz.
Here's a dungeon
Roberto!
dose of genuine
Do
adventuring.
something!
William.
Yeah, William.
Guillermo Roberto El Nomio. Do something.
Ray of Frost.
Would you like to make the attack roll for me?
Let's see. Ray of Frost is that one. Continue.
It's a ranged touch attack, which means your base attack bonus plus intelligence
Oh God.
and a d20.
Plus, let's focus my intelligence.
And then you have to say a Mr. Freeze pun. Nice to meet you.
Damn it! That's the one I was gonna do.
Stay cool. Your ray does nothing. Just hits a wall in the back or something. Rest in peace. Famus, now you have the
Bail
option to... Famus, you now have the option to yell at everyone to stop or take a shot and join the fun.
I'm saying, Jillian, stop.
How loud are you?
As loud as I can be.
Okay, got it. Does anyone immediately halt their movement in response to this?
If he shouts stop, then I will take a guard position to defend myself, but I'm not gonna attack again. I cracked him pretty good. So
Yes.
I'm just gonna kind of stay and threaten and Famas, what?
How do you know he's got anything to do with this?
Well, if we blood trail, abandoned warehouse that's still being workshop that's still being used, and I look at him. This is a drow elfy, darky kind of.
And that's 6
Probably
seconds of
great.
speech.
Okay.
We have to roll initiative now.
Okay.
Well, should we wrap up? Because it is 12 o'clock.
It isn't going to take much to kill this guy because you're 5 people beating the shit out of one person.
Well, I'm not going to let them beat the shit out of someone.
Fight them. Make them stop. Now on your main character sheet, you'll have an initiative button toward the top, I think. You'll want to click that. And then
Yeah,
once
it's
you have
across.
everyone-
It's next to strength. You'll see initiative.
And for those of you at home, initiative is generally just a d20 plus your dexterity modifier to show how quickly you react.
Oh, look, you have to have tokens selected.
Mm-hmm.
As
Really?
you said, it's got an error, yeah.
So if none of you has the improved initiative feat, you can just /roll d20 plus your dex modifier, or just click the dex button to roll a dexterity
There you go.
check.
Dexterity check done.
Jesus Christ, my fucking rolls today.
Ooh, Aldwin with the big.
Oh, okay. Looks like Aldwin's going to go first again. 20, and then of the two of you, James has the higher dex, which means he wins that. So Famus has next. Vasha. The Drow. Then Tully. Then Filtus. Right on. Boop. Aldwin, you have heard the order to stop from your ranger friend, but it's again up to you how you respond. You have to make a call.
How much information could I gather in a round of combat with Detect Evil?
You would have to focus on it. So you'd have to stop fighting and then hope that no one hits you and disturbs your concentration. And then it would be the end of the round when you have some sort of read.
End of the combat round.
Yeah, but I will meet you halfway and say at the end of your turn is when I'll give you the read.
I will do that.
All that round will tell you is whether there is evil or not. All right, so Aldwin drops it, puts down his sword, sheathes it, whatever, takes out his holy symbol. Talk us through that again. Right on. After a couple of seconds, yes, you are getting extreme evil off this guy. And if you stay on him, if you concentrate for more rounds, you'll get more details. But really, I mean, what other detail do you need?
That'll do.
That will do. What do you say anything after you do that? You can stop detecting evil at the end of the round and then say like 3 seconds worth of words to the people in the room.
I can sense that he is a great evil.
Right on. Simple enough.
I shout that for Famus to hear.
Famus, you're next. And you've just heard your Knight of Heronia's friend saying that.
Doesn't mean he's done anything.
You know what? He kicks puppies, but he ain't done anything right now.
For those of you at home, this is a thing that naturally comes up in D&D, where a paladin wants to smite evil and everyone else says, no, stop, please. So, Famus, are you going to physically stop them or just stay there?
I'm going to stand over. I'm going to guard him as best I can.
Okay. Vasha, you're next.
Follower of Loth, servant of darkness. I cannot let up. The light must prevail. I need to attack.
Then you're no better than him.
That is not for you to judge. This is my my training, my beliefs. Fine, I say to because I don't want to have to hurt Famis in order to get it. It's like, I've hit you once, surrender, or we will destroy your evil. And that's what I say to this evil drow. I've already critical cracked it, so I'm hoping that the wound is enough to make it think twice. We have you surrounded. We will destroy you. Surrender.
So he's next, and the drow elf, after he is stunned for just a second from being suddenly having his lair crashed in on and being smacked the shit out of by a big mace, he has in his hands a scroll. The scroll disappears, and then he puts his hands out and he says something in like undercommon, like slith. Sounds like that, and then a dark bolt comes out of his hands at Vasha.
I can take it. What do I need to do?
In his face. He's going to make a ranged touch attack versus your touch AC.
Can I not stop him? I'm right next to him.
You're at the door.
No,
He
he
said
did
on his turn he went over to intercede.
Oh.
That was his action.
Because I could just grab his hand and yank it down.
You would... In the future, you would have to say, I would like to prepare a ready to action to grapple this guy if he does anything hostile. But I'll give you this for free now and say you could make a grapple check attack to try to interfere.
How do I do that?
You can roll your grapple is base attack bonus plus strength.
Okay.
So you could just roll a d20
Well,
plus.
this is speed. This is just literally knocking his hand. It's not.
I know.
Strength thing, is it? It's more of a.
When you're in
reaction.
combat, a person isn't just going to let you fiddle with their hands.
Okay.
That's what grapple's all about.
20.
Damn. All right. Opposed grapple for him is going to be his strength is only +1. And his +1 attack. So he's only going to get a d20 +2. Nope. So this means he has to roll concentration now. Because you've fucked up his somatic component. And that's 2. Oh, nope. So the scroll vanishes and there's this dark energy that starts to come out of his hands after he says the words. But Famis has grabbed his arms and the darkness just disperses into the air and goes up toward the ceiling.
No,
However, this guy seems very intent on resisting.
Okay.
Grab the other arm, quick! Push him to the ground.
Tally, you're next. Would you like to go first or the wolf?
Callan can go first.
What would you like, Callan, to keep attacking, or would you like to order him to stop?
No, I would let him keep attacking.
Right on. Carnage. No, stop, please don't kill him. No, kill the bastard.
Gotta remember where I come from. There isn't drow.
Right. That's understandable. Oh. The wolf is tangled up in all these like 5 people standing here and didn't get a good bite.
Yeah.
So Tally, it's your turn.
So I open my hand in front of me and I say, Salse, and I cast Produce Flame.
Are you going to throw fire on this guy?
Yes, I am.
You should be aware that Famis is grappling him, which means you have a chance of hitting Famis.
That's fine.
What happens is if you make the attack and miss, then you have to roll an attack versus Famis.
How much room is there down there? Can I just like?
This is like a
Right.
20 by 20 room with like 5 people standing close together.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw fire.
Okay. So I think your character sheet has the throw fire attack thing.
Yes, we did that.
Click.
Under weapons. Okay, so I'm rolling the first one.
Yes, I think. Oh no. So you've missed the drow fellow, which means now you have to roll again against Famus.
Okay.
Famus is going to be the guy that wanted everyone to stop the murder. He's the one who gets murdered. All right, you miss Famus. That doesn't hit
Okay.
Famus' AC either. So Famus, your druid friend just shot fire at you and the drow, and luckily you didn't get burned. Bill Fizz,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
Nothing. I am going to sit and watch. I was told to stop.
Where are you going to position yourself?
At the doorway.
Are you going to try to block the doorway?
No, there's no way I can block the doorway. Let's face facts. I'm a gnome. He'll just shove past me.
So, like on the stairs or outside of the door?
Yeah, on the stairs.
Okay. So we go back to Aldwin.
Hi.
Hi, I'm not high. What would you like to do?
I would like to swing at him again. Attempt to.
All right. You can make your attack. And then be aware that you could hit Famus.
That's okay. Shouldn't have got in the way.
I love when paladins are a problem. I love it. No, stop
don't think
spiting!
it's a
I have to
problem.
spite. Oh dear. That's a miss. No, you've got flanking actually, so that's a hit. So you can, that's 5 points of damage. Are you stabbing or slashing?
Slashing.
What part of his body are you aiming at?
His shoulder.
You have successfully probably halfway hacked this dude's arm off. Famus. At this point, the drow is no longer resisting and slumps in your arms. And the arm that you're holding kind of starts to like fall off the guy because Aldwin just like basically hacked his arm off. At this point, combat is over because the guy's unconscious.
Okay. I'll drop him to the floor.
Are you going to lecture your friends about morality? I want you to so badly.
Well, I'm not going to do it now because the end of the stream.
It would be a good place to wrap up, though, with you being a dad right now. You're all
Okay.
grounded.
Well, I'm like, we didn't know what was in here. We didn't know it was someone who's involved. And it could have been someone completely innocent that you just potentially murdered.
But it wasn't.
How is it wasn't? It's just an elf with dark skin.
That's not dark skin. That's black. That's drow. That's servants of Loth.
I don't know who that is.
Well, welcome to a different world, I suppose. Where you're from, this may not exist, but here, this is bad. The tomes
I'm-
speak of the followers of Loth.
Maybe this one wasn't.
Aldwin, you said it was evil.
Detected great presence of evil there.
Good enough for me.
So what happens if when we burst in that this person was not evil?
Well, is there still a pulse? Can I use my healer's kit to stabilize this?
You can roll a heal check.
I will do that then. It's like, fine, make you happy. We're supposed to be a team, support one another, not bite, but.
J-Wall, please always just attack everything you encounter. Please continue to do that until the end of time, so that James can be mad at you forever.
There we go, 23.
I'm literally just role playing.
I understand, James. I love that you're role playing this.
No, it's fantastic, James. Don't change, but as in characters, we're gonna be this. It's awesome.
Don't worry, next time he tries to stop me, I'll put him on his ass.
Yeah!
And then I'll shoot you in the ass.
Oh.
Oh no, I'll patch you both up.
Vasha,
Yes.
this heal check was just to determine the state of this person, not to heal
Yes.
them yet.
Okay,
This person
well.
is not quite dead, but will be in a moment.
Okay, I will. If we can stabilize, then we have someone to question. Someone to take back to the temple.
You have a choice to make. You can either try to heal this person with magic, which will certainly stop them from dying, or attempt to use your healer's kit, which, considering this person's torso is almost bisected, you don't have a good chance.
Oh no, I will use a spell. Now, is it a case of just heal 1 hit point, or would I need to use a full cure light wounds?
If you cure minor, it will stop him from bleeding out. If you
Mhm.
cure light, you could make him conscious again.
We should leave that for next time because that's the cliffhanger. We are at the end.
Before we end, though, I want Bill Fizz to make a listen check.
I'm gonna make a listen check. You hear
'Cause
me?
You're at the door.
I'm at the door. I do the thing. Where the hell are my skills? I accidentally closed listen check. Here we go. JKL.
Right on. All right.
Holy shit, finally a good roll.
Bill Fizz, you can hear approaching the door is a bunch of angry sounding men.
We've got
human men.
Company.
And that's where we'll end it.
All right.
Okay, so shout outs. So we'll start with Mr. Claytor.
Okay, let me know when I'm on screen.
You're on screen.
I'm on screen. Hi, I'm Claytor22. You can catch me here on Sundays and Thursdays on James's stream. You can catch my own stream at Claytor22 on Twitch, and Twitter is, again, Claytor22. I'm getting back into it. I'm having fun. I'm doing a lot of fun. That's me, baby. Bachka Hong Kong.
J-Wall.
J-Wall 7Z everywhere. Here Thursdays. We'll be here Mondays eventually. Stream other days when I feel like it. Feel free to follow. Yeah.
Lauren.
Hello, I'm Lauren Danger on Twitter, Lauren Danger, Instagram, Lauren Danger Shaw. I am a leatherworker, and you can find my leatherworking at my Etsy shop, Danger Craftworks. So, Brewster, you have a few pieces.
Brewster's talking to himself.
Yep, muted.
And they can't see because...
I was just saying, yeah, they can't see me because your card is up right now.
Oh, okay. Well, you just say yes. They are fantastic.
Yes, I bought leather from Lauren.
Yes. I also am a European martial artist, study a lot of sword fighting, and so if you're interested in that, Twitter's a good place to see pictures of swords as well as cats. Next, please.
Talking of cats, Kitty.
Hi, I'm Crimson Kitty. I stream over at CDN Crimson Kitty on Twitch. I currently stream when I can. I work full time, but streams may be sparse right now as I'm going through some personal stuff. You can still catch me here, at least for a little bit. Right now, I am playing Shadow of War, which I am enjoying a lot. So if you want to see if the game is worth playing without spending extra money, feel free to stop by.
And last but not least, Rooster.
Hi. You just witnessed a murder. These people just murdered a guy in cold blood. At Rooster Castile on Twitter if you want to hear me talking about politics and game design. I also have a Mastodon. The link is in chat. I run 2 games here on this channel, Star Trek and D&D. And here's the leather that I purchased from Lauren.
Yes.
I like it a lot.
One is custom.
Yes.
The other is standard.
If you'd like to watch Star Trek, that's on Sundays. We just started a ship battle. So this coming weekend, if you'd like to watch, photon torpedoes is going to happen. Someone's going to say it and they're going to be fired and things are going to blow up. Or else come back here next week and then we'll talk about what happens when you murder somebody in cold blood in a city. That's it for me.
Okay. So we'll come back to here. So thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to come back on Sunday to watch Star Trek, because that was quite hilarious with Barry the Bolian and the troubles that he's going to get in with Claytor. Other than that, check my Discord out for all my social medias to keep checks on when things are going to be announced. Because let me go to the proper screen.
Because you're having new shows.
Because there's loads of new shows will be starting over the next few weeks, months. Some have been pushed back because of unforeseeable things. But other than that, just keep a check on as new shows are announced and new time slots are opened up. But other than that, thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you shortly in about a week. And everyone on YouTube, thank you for watching.